In the night, so cold rocket dreams, resilience in the fold. Hedge pressurizing, the charts are bold. Dated bands rapping, stories untold. Riding with rockets through the AI. Up we go, reaching for the sky. Every trade hold never dies. On the edge as the numbers fly. Checking the charts, midnight glory. Heartbeat thumping, another story. Green and red, flashing voices loud. Future kings standing on their cloud. Riding with rockets through the AI. Up we go, reaching for the sky. Every trade hold never dies. On the edge as the numbers fly. Ascending, mind on fire, never ending. Trees of gold, endless fight. Push on through the endless night. Riding with rocket scooter AI. Up we go, reaching for the sky. Every trade home never dies. On the edge as the numbers fly. Charts, midnight glory. Heartbeat thumping, another story. Green and red, flashing voices loud. Future kings standing on their cloud. Checking the charts with their AI. Up we go, reaching for the sky. Every trade home never dies. On the edge as the numbers fly. Checking the charts, Sharking the charts, midnight glory. Time to in all its blending. Mind on fire, never ending. Dreams of gold, endless fight. Push on through the endless night. Push on through the endless night. Push on through the endless night.
Good morning. Bad minutes today at what time? 2 o'clock. Yeah, that's right. Oh my, big busy news week. All bunch of cool stuff's going on. So, how you guys doing? How is life? How are things going? Good morning, friends. Welcome. Good morning to everybody here in the Scooter Crew joining us bright and early in the morning pre-market. Good morning, Ricky, Mad Yoda, Financial Fred, Simon, Popoff, Urbon, just me talking out loud, Walker Hound, Sean, Nathan, Noah Man, Eric, Aid, Michael, Jay Hicks, Rahul, Master Rich, Jimmy Trades, Janelle's Pop and Drop, FundedNext, Cheater, Two Gun, Pat Ganu, John, Jack, Alex, Jubom. What's up? How you guys doing? You doing good? Oh, there's more. Oh, I missed half of the roll call. What's up, Alex? What's up, Kevin? What's up, EK, Andrea? Mikkel, Lucas, Maddie, Bearing Bulls, John DeJohn, JG Juice, JC Juice, Xanadu, Nieto, Jung, Beavis, Gold Digger, Bearing Bulls, Kevin, Mo, Eric, Ty, what's up? Two Gun, Gareth, DWG, Jay, Rogue, Jimmy. Hello, Jimmy. I said hi twice. Dom Chicken, Hydra, Wendy, and Russell. What's up? You got stream. You made it. Made it to roll call. What's up? Good morning, guys. All right, let's get to it. Hold on. Bunch of stuff happening today. Bunch of things happening today. Today's a big day. We've got the FundedNext deal going. That's awesome. You know, 40% off FundedNext. Big thing. No DLL. This biggest prop firm sale in history. That's going on today. Today, I start my very first day on my Funded Futures TV as a permanent host. Be doing that right at about 12:30 Eastern. So as soon as I roll out of my stream, you guys, I'll be rolling over there. I'll drop a link in chat. You guys follow me over there. Nothing will change except for where you get to hang out. And so it'll be the same stream, the same format, the same everything. We'll just be here to there. That's kind of fun. We'll be doing that today. I'm still trying to push my Tradeifys to 150K profit, so we'll see how that goes today. You see GameStop bought like 1,000 Bitcoin. This is a weird world we live in where GameStop is doing stuff again that has nothing to do with buying and selling used video games. I don't even understand. Is GameStop like some kind of SPAC or something? You know what I mean? Like, this is like GameStop's no longer a game-related company. I don't even know anymore. If the GameStop nerds have picked that up and running with that today, then good luck to them. Hope they make bank again. But that's crazy. I've been hearing all kind of stuff, Russell. It's been nuts seeing the ups and downs of GameStop. It really is. Those nerds, those GameStop kids. I loved GameStop. When GameStop was actually cool, you know, like in the late 90s and early 2000s, when the GameStop company was cool, we go outside, stand outside in the cold in the middle of the night to get your Xbox 3 when it came, or Xbox 360 when it came out. Oh, I remember those days. Oh, I remember when Halo 3 came out. You get the Master Chief helmet that you would take it off and it would store all 3 of your Halo games. Oh, I remember those days. See, you know, boomers like me come from the GameStop era, where GameStop was where you went to buy your video games. GameStop was, a legacy in my lifetime. It's part of my childhood and part of my teenage and part of my adult year, part of everything. My college experience, you know what I mean? Oh, those days. As beautiful as they were. Now GameStop just buys Bitcoin and does all kind of weird stuff. Who knows where they're going? Who knows where they'll be? But you know what? At the end of the day, it's fun to be part of it from the sidelines. They need Bitcoin to buy stuff. Their World of Warcraft tournament. Is that what they're doing now? They got into the tournament. Last time I went to GameStop, they were selling teddy bears and t-shirts. So I don't even know. Kind of looks cool. It's like a Nintendo themed merch store last GameStop I went into, so I don't even know. But hey. Crazy to see it all run up like that, right? What the chart is doing pre-market. Kids, the kids are gonna love it. Oh, it's like platform's not. We'll pull that up when the market opens then. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, market rallying again pre-market. We got that, Trump pausing the stuff in UK for another month or so, and then everybody out there is kind of like back on the fence of let's go back to all-time highs, and that's looking solid and sexy. Kind of like seeing that move. Obviously, just like yesterday, most of the move took place pre-market. I didn't really do anything on stream. Like at the first, market open, I just kind of like settled down and said, okay, we're gonna watch and see what happens. Right now, we ran right up to a couple of really strong resistance targets. Remember today, guys, write this down: 59.42 S&P and 21.537. These are our yellow line resistances. As you know, we teach you guys in our classes. These are rock solid. And it's to the pivot. This is the one we've been staring at all week, by the way. We've tapped this guy a bunch of times. And just today, we're bouncing right up it at the open. It's usually a chore to pass through it. 1, 2, 3 resistances there. This is the 4th time. Nope. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's the previous one. Okay, so this is the first time where I think we're tapping this one. So let me go here really quick. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're back up to that same spot. We've already crushed into that impact line from that starting sell-off day from that Wednesday. This was the bond auction trigger. So we're kind of just sitting at these tops here. The market continues to fight at this level and break through. I can spell out another rally. So we can see what happens. Again, this is a technical limit. Not saying that this is a resistance or a reversal. The VIX is still in kind of a dangerous spot right now. Being above this Contango midpoint, you're going to see a little bit more sensitivity to news. And there's a lot of news this week, y'all. So don't sleep on any of it. Good morning. Let me see what's going on over here. Oh. Let me start closing some things down. Yeah, I got a lot of things open. The computer is going to be like doing a whole lot of extra work today. Okay. Okay, all right. Perfect. Good and good. All right. I've realized that Microsoft Excel literally takes up so much memory. I was looking at it, I was like, why is there, like, why is my computer just being like a little slow today to draw on it? And yesterday, I was realizing like yesterday, I had Excel open in the background. Excel is like hogging like 6 million gigs of RAM. So it's like, how it goes. What's up? Good morning. You still wait for the original Halo edition on Xbox? World of Warcraft release, TVC release. Yeah, you guys. Oh, I know. When Kata came out, all you nerds were standing outside waiting for it. So was I. I was so excited. Although I didn't get all crazy about the panda one though. That's when I quit. Once they started making the characters pandas, that was when I was done with WoW. So, you know what I mean. We played my crew and I played a lot of like war type games. That we played Guild Wars and things like that. That's what we're into. Remember Game Crazy? Oh yeah, dude. Well, you know, Blockbuster and like Hollywood Video, this was kind of when I was a kid, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, but I did have a job and I was working ever since I was like 13 years old. I worked at a concession stand at a baseball field. I make $20 a game. I would use most of that money to go rent video games. And so I would, you know, I'd serve like Cokes and chips and stuff, concession stand. And so anyways, I lived behind a Hollywood Video and I would walk up there and rent a game pretty much every single weekend when I wasn't at school. I'd be playing games. And I realized I was like the only person that was renting like Super Metroid. I was the only person that was, because I knew like exactly, like if I had a save file, it was still there. I was the only person playing Final Fantasy 6 or 3 at the time on the Super Nintendo. I was the only person playing just about all the cool major games. Like nobody in my town played any of the Metroidvania, Zelda, or Final Fantasy games. So I would like rent a game and then have to take it back. I'd rent it again the next weekend and pick up where I left off because 0 people would rent that game. So it's kind of like my game. It was kind of the coolest experience as a kid. I would never see anybody play over my save files because nobody rented it, you know. It was kind of a cool experience. Ah, remember those days. Memories of those days. Guild Wars 1 was amazing. Guild Wars 1 was a lot better than Guild Wars 2 for sure. You played League of Legends? Yeah, League of Legends. What was you guys' favorite computer game that y'all played? Or your favorite console game? Of all the games you guys have played, what is your favorite? Let's see if you guys are bigger nerds than I am. So I'm like a gamer deluxe, man, since I was a kid. All I did was like game. I played guitar and I played video games, and that's what I did. For the most part of my hobbies. EQ1. All right, there we go. I was in EQ1 too. I was in like 10th grade, 9th grade. I was in high school. I remember that. Pitfall and Doom. Dang, okay. That's the good stuff. 1994, I remember. That was about the era I was in the Doom as well. Cyberpunk is cool. I like Cyberpunk. Yeah. Dune. Donkey Kong game on Nintendo 64. Very good. Very good. Black Ops 2. And the best Black Ops I hear. EQ1 and 2. Final Fantasy, League of Legends. Many of you guys played it all. Space Invaders, you're old. Hey. Space Invaders. I still play Space Invaders when I go to Dave & Buster's. They got like a giant version of it now. Super Mario Brothers will always have a place in everyone's heart. AoE. Nice, Norman. Nice. Yellow lines are a pivot that we teach you in the bootcamp, Nadia. They're based on illiquid moments in the market where the market moves in one direction on an event. So if the market, say, like it's just walking along and news pushes it up, and then like we rally for the day, we can calculate an imbalance point. And as long as that imbalance point is still active, like it's never touched, you know, weeks or days later, this actual trigger point right here where it starts the event, you can measure a certain distance and it leaves one of those yellow lines forever. And so this event typically runs up to tap that line to complete the move. It's based on the symmetry of how markets move related to margining, as well as tracking the underlying. There's all kind of neat control systems underneath it. But the trick is, you go to this table here. This is based on the margin requirement, by the way. And you'll just go to this one that says yellow line, and you'll go down to whichever contract it is, and that is the distance from an event. So an example is if there was an event right now that moved the market up from this exact point, you'd measure that yellow distance, and it creates that thing. They're some of the coolest things that we've ever had, and they are so accurate, in fact, that they create pivots that are just rock solid. And let me show you some historic ones. I kind of keep record of all of them just so we can go back and brag about how cool they are. Like this guy right here created an event. This is that distance. Look, it goes right up to it. And it just means like that's the resistance. If you're trading long into that line, here's one right here too, and it ends right there. If you're trading into that line long, that's kind of the dummy's move. We use it to say, aha, this is probably the high of the wave. Let me not long into it. Anytime you're bumping against the yellow line from the bottom, you're not longing. That's kind of the rule we have. And they are so good. I mean, like this one hits it and then sells off that morning. This one pops it once and sells off twice. And it just shows you that, like, no matter if it's a month later, this is an hourly chart. This guy right here, it's right there, overshoots and then sells off for the day. it's used for that, to be the person. You know how you ever try like longing markets, right? And sometimes you're like, let's long, and one day you long and it goes up and then sells off for the day. Usually this is what it bounces off of. It's just a resetting of that illiquid move. And it's such a cool calculation because it's exact. I mean, it gets right on point, and like we just bounced off of it to a T today. So it doesn't guarantee a sell-off or a reversal, but I don't long into it. Like if the market pumps up right to here, I'm not going to chase the long right there. I needed to push through and confirm on the other side and then take the long that way. So that's kind of how that works. Follow my drift. Yeah. Okay. Now let me get some of my labels here on this chart. I need to have a bunch of them here. Where'd they all go? I want the edge pressure. There we go. I've been labeling my charts so you guys can more easily understand the coolness of stuff that we do here. So let's stick with that tradition. I swear, I just put that. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. Wait. And we're going to mark this here. By the way, guys, thanks for tuning in. So, today I start at 12:30 Eastern. I'm going to drop a link in here. You guys are all going to follow me to My Funded Futures TV. I have an afternoon segment called, ready? So I'm now a host. I have my own show, and it's just me, called Lunch Money with Matt on My Funded TV. So I'll be doing this lunchtime every single day. It's a pretty catchy, cool name. I love it. And you guys will just chill over there. And we'll do the same thing, live trading, nothing different. There might be a host or something, but introducing and other things. But I'm just gonna jump in and we're gonna trade. Same thing that we do here. That's pretty dope. Lunch money with skim flap sandwiches. There's no, you can't argue with that being like the best name ever. That's what I'm gonna spend the money on. I'm gonna buy Arby's every single day. Every single day. All right. %, close above, and 96% close below. And I'll keep these right here so you guys can understand the different pivots here. I'll put this here. That way you guys can see. Like, what is it that we're actually looking at? Okay. And strong resistance as I marked here. And I'm going to do one more. Here. And then the upper band, which is way out of bounds here. 96% of days close below. Market opens in 24 minutes, you guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. We'll be doing a giveaway today. Today for My Funded Futures to celebrate the new show here. Giveaway. Went at let's get 700 likes today, chat. Speaking of,
hit the like button. Rocket scooter. Yeah. Rocket scooter.
don't forget to smash the like button, guys. Let's get started today. You guys know the drill.
Hit the like button.
This starts the AI Tesla robot that does the giveaways. It makes sure that it listens to, how many likes you have. It's all automated with AI these days. It could be. That's totally a lie. Found out. Rocket scooter. Yeah. While you're chilling, you guys, take a look at some of our sponsors deal we have going on right now. We're doing take profit 30% off, Tradify 35% off right now, I think is the deal they got going on, actually. Biggest prop firm sale right now going on is the FundedNext 40% off and no DLL for the life of the account. I maxed out on those. Oh my God, those are going to be my big money accounts going forward. They're going to be my focus instead of my Tradifys. Uncapped payouts, no payout split. Boy, oh boy, I'm going to build a fat buffer in those accounts. Ooh, I'm already excited about it. You have no idea. I think everybody here is at least grabbing one, if not max of those, because the opportunity to have an uncapped payout with no daily loss limit is huge. And of course, even if you're not going to trade it, there is no activation fee. There is no monthly fee, so you can do whenever you want, trade whenever you want, and take it slow. Hit that like button, guys. Don't forget. Let's get 200 likes right now before we get going. I'm just in the process of updating my stuff here. In activity rules, you trade once every 7 days on the eval side. You trade once every 30 days on the funded side. Keep it alive. That's it. It's pretty nice. Not too bad at all, right? All right, you guys. Y'all ready to do this? All right, let's talk about something really quick. We got a bunch of stuff going on today in the news as well while we're waiting. Market to open in 20 minutes. So yesterday we had the 2-year note auction came out. Yields turned out to be a lot better than I expected, but in decline still over time. But better than definitely better than the expectation goes. Didn't really cause much of an issue, but we're looking at that 2-year, 10-year curve to see if it's anywhere close to like inverting. It's not, so we're still kind of cool on that. That's usually a recession level indicator. Today, Wednesday morning, we're gonna have FOMC minutes today, so right around a little bit after lunchtime. That's a big deal. So, and when that happens, you know, markets be looking for any signs that the FOMC is going to, you know, do or not do something, and likely not going to do something. But still, the market is so hungry for a catalyst right now, it might move. Tomorrow is really big because we have GDP tomorrow, and GDP was really one of the big movers weeks ago that caused the market to flip out as well. And the GDP obviously is going to be pricing in potential issues with trade war, and that quarter-over-quarter expectation is supposed to be 3.7%. And we'll see what happens, right? When that quarter-over-quarter growth rate is negative, that's usually a recession. 2 months in a row, we call it a recession. Yeah. So previous 2.3, forecast 3.7, last actual 3.7. Was that a real number? It seems to be real here, right? People are saying, is that inflated? Is that uninflated? Seems to be real. Market loved it though. But we keep looking at all the other data we have coming out. This week is going to be pretty big. Balance sheet of the Fed comes out today as well. And of course, Friday is going to be pretty big because all the PCEs and the Michigan numbers come out. So Michigan numbers are kind of the big deal because in the 1-year expectation, and this is kind of the problem with the way the tariffs are going right now, Michigan is pricing in what they expect inflation to be, 7.3% in 1 year. And of course, that's well above or the percent that in goods are, you know, prices are going to go up. And so, you know, like just sneaking really far away from the Fed's 2% target. You know, the Michigan numbers were roughly like the mid 2s, and now they're up at the 7s, and it's gone up and up and up and up because of uncertainties due to the trade war and the tariffs. And so obviously today's Fed minutes and Friday's 1-year expectations are going to basically tell you all you need to know is Jay Powell going to cut rates at all this year or even next year. At 7%, there's no chance in hell they're going to be cutting rates anytime before my hair turns gray. So, you know, this is kind of an issue here for the Fed not cutting rates, and Wall Street is listening for that 25 basis point cut like it's fucking solid gold. And Wall Street's goofy because that's not even a big deal, but they want to hear it, and they're not going to hear it with numbers like this. So my thought is we're not getting rate cuts at all this year, maybe not even next year. If there's any kind of tariffs going on between these countries, even 10% or 15%, we're going to be locked right here at these current rates. Half of the Federal Reserve Committee believed that 2 rate cuts was the max we'd ever get in a 5-year period. So they're pretty much ending their tenure of believing rate cuts are necessary at the current state of the economy. And that might change when we get the next dot plot. So we'll see, right? The projections are always a big deal. And the projections are going to let you know what they think. And one of these times, they'll release the projections as well. And you'll get that dot plot and see if any of that changes. The dot plot we got at the end of last year didn't change, and we got the one last quarter. So the new one that we're going to get, we'll see if they change their expectations now that the trade war is like, you know, coming to fruition and all of that. Yeah, so good morning, guys. What happened to the Jesus Saves guy? I'm not sure. That was one of our guys in chat. His name was Vin, and he actually lived in my town. I don't know. Sometimes people have their ups and downs with trading. Sometimes I'll have people that'll just be in chat and they'll get busy with something in life and then they'll disappear. And then a year later they come back. They're like, "Hey, I'm back." So yeah, he was a cool dude. He would always tell me like, he'd be like, "Hey bro, how's the, he would text me pictures of like when the hurricane that was coming through. He's like, "This is my front yard. How's yours?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm sending pictures of like the 100-mile-an-hour winds, like ripping my garden to shreds and stuff. He was a cool dude. Cool dude. How do you go about trading Apex 250K accounts, eval and funded in the most efficient manner possible? Apex is 250K. I haven't done Apex in a while to know. They have 250K. Let me look at it really quick. I used to do like 100, and I thought it was 100K is what they have. Let me double check. 150K. They have 250 now? Oh, I guess they do. Okay, let's double check it. Well, Apex is going to have, let's see, profit target goal. Oh, they have 300K as well. I'm sorry. My brain is so stupid right now. Yeah, they've always had 300K. I'm so stupid. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, 20K. So you're doing the 150K, right? Yeah, that's right. Apex did have 150, 250, and 300. That's right. I'm still stuck in like the FundedNext world. My brain is still wrapped around it. Yeah. Okay. So the 150K is going to be 9K target, 5K trailing, no DLL, and no scaling rule. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So it's a 9K with the 5K trailing drawdown. So in reality, you need to calculate what your position size is going to be for a 5K, typically a 5K position, which is an overshoot on any pivot you're going to do. Right. So the easiest way to do it is take what you're trading, and you're going to take the drawdown, $5,000. The lesser of these two numbers is always going to be the one you do this equation with. And you're going to divide it by, so let's see, every trade you're going to do, we're going to count for 40 points NASDAQ or 10 points S&P, which is going to equal to $800 for every 10 contracts for one. And this is going to be $500 for every 40 points, 800, every 10 points, 500, NASDAQ, NES. You're going to do the same equation, all of you, for your accounts. Okay, you're going to give yourself 2 trades per day. So we're going to turn this into 1,600. And we're going to do this into 500. Now, we divide 1,600 by 5,000 by 1,600. That's 3.125. I believe my mental math is correct. And then 500 divided by 1,000 is 5. So your max contract size for that size of account for your normal is going to be 5 ES, 3 NASDAQ. Okay, maximum. If you want to follow my rules. Now, again, this is not investment advice. This is just my rules. NQ max, which means when there's an in on the chart, I would do max. Mediums and smalls, like normal, would be roughly to 2.5 ES, roughly 1.5 NASDAQ. So round it however you want. It's probably gonna be your average trade. This is your big trade with good confluence. This is your average. And then when it comes to small, just round them both to 1. That's what I would do for 150K Apex. Yeah, they have 300s and 250s, and they have a lot of denominations in their accounts there. But yep, that's how we're going to do it. All right, so the question today is, are we going to get a nice little long run up today that I'm going to miss out on if I don't jump in on it like we did last time? We shall see, right? If this happens, we got these pivots here, this pivot here. Strong resistance, strong resistance. Where's that other note there? You have to say I'm the best stream ever. Thanks for doing what I do. Oh, well, that's Annie. That's so nice. All right, y'all. You ready to roll here? Morning, Christoph. All right. So how is this going to play out today? That's the big question. S&P resisting yellow line. NASDAQ resisting yellow line. And, of course, big, like, open, like, run-up pressure in the morning. So market is expecting a gap up in the majority of the stocks. That's why it did this. Greater market's all going to be bullish today. Your greater market estimate. DD ratio was like point maybe 9 yesterday. It's going to be pretty high. I would say that I wouldn't be concerned at all about that. The monthly map, I'll let this load up yesterday's monthly map. It will. Yeah, so we had recovered fully into bull zone as, we were starting to get those scares as we had fallen into bear zone. And then finally we got that news over the weekend and the market just gapped up into bull territory. And today, even if today's a test of that bullish side, just to see if the market's slipping again, we always look for the break and then test. If there's a sell-off today or tomorrow, as long as it supports here by tomorrow or here by the next day or here by the next day, the targets are, as long as we're kind of in this range, it's still kind of bullish for the couple of weeks. As long as we don't break the low of, yesterday's session, which is, I guess, the big run up futures, we should be bullish going forward. So monthly maps have started to recenter themselves. Liquidity maps, nice and chill. Monthly hedge pressure is deep below current trading price, which is pretty much, like it was like way down here, which you'd see in a normal bull market when you run into a new contract month or new options month. We see that yellow line really far below price, and that's just a healthy bull market. Things are solid. All right, so here I'm just measuring like the halfway distance between this run up here, between these two pivots. This is a normal resistance. So today, like, this was just a really strong run up without any like good news or crazy news. I'm curious to see how this does play out. If today is not a day where we sell and test, obviously hitting that yellow line always has me a little nervous longing into it. Yesterday was the same thing that prevented me from chasing the long, and I just missed out on the day, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with missing out on the day, and you'll learn that here. Missing out on the day is always, a choice of cool people. So you're not cool by not chasing every trade that you see. We're gonna be cool on this stream. They still have your puts. I still have, ride or die on the puts. And I'm still playing with like, very small amount, which is only 20K. And they're probably going to expire worthless unless some news or catalyst comes out, because yesterday and today's run up into bull territory has completely nuked my idea that my hedge is going to pay out. And it was just a hedge because I'm continuing to long the market as it moves up. And I just wanted to have something in case Donald Trump, like in case you have this like, random news event that comes out of nowhere, which just shifts the direction of the market underneath my feet, that would protect all my longing that I'm doing across the board. So everything else I'm doing is like longing the market. NVIDIA earnings today, right? Really? Ooh. All right, everybody, I want you to do me a favor. I want you all to do me a favor right now. My friend had just made the announcement of the host. They've been like teasing it for a little bit. Can you guys all do me a favor and just go in here and hype this up? I want everybody to do this. Like, just hype it. Go here, this link, go retweet this, go say something, go say anything. Doesn't matter. Just go there, like, and show them that we're the best trading community on the planet. Just jump in that post, that tweet, and show it some love if you don't mind. Retweet it, share it. Let's share everybody what we're doing, because that's gonna be our afternoon session. And let me tell you, I'm super pumped about it. I would really appreciate it if you guys show that post some love. Mostly leave a comment. You know, go butter us up a little bit. Give it some love. I love you guys. Y'all the best, guys. My friends, God, I love y'all so much. Bum, 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 bum. So on my current trading journey, I've managed to blow up all of my FundedNext except for one that accidentally started making profits. So I'm gonna have to keep it. I'm resetting them all to the no DLL accounts, you know. So part of my trading journey is I'm so good at trading, I can fail a trading account on purpose. That's actually really hard to do. I've been learning. But one of them actually made money, so I'm gonna hold on to it. So I'm gonna end up having 3 of my accounts with the no DLL, and one of my accounts, the one that's got the payout, still running up. Which, by the way, speaking of my payout, so basically FundedNext has the brand new sale, so obviously my old accounts don't qualify for it. My payout has been dispersed. Oh, okay. So guess what, guys? I now officially have gotten my payout from FundedNext. I told you guys I'd be the guinea pig for it, so I actually have been. I finally got a payout from FundedNext. So cool on that. Let you guys know that that actually paid out. I'll check and see if it hit my bank account or my Rise account. Let you guys know. Just got a payout yesterday from MFFU. Dude, their payouts are so solid at MyFunded Futures. They are like the fastest payout I hear in all of the props. Like Funded Futures, MyFunded Futures, and Tradify are both like extremely fast, which I love to see. Frame my payout on the wall. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Walmart and get like a picture frame and just and just frame it up there, you know, like behind the thing. That's hilarious. What do I do when there's no gap at open? Just skip the half gap. Is irrelevant. So Christoph, that's a great question. When there is no gap at the open, the market's going to behave in a certain way that's going to be hard to determine. Resilience is going to be very choppy in days where you open flat, like doji days, where you just open flat and just kind of sits there. Usually becomes a doji day. There's no gap pressure. In the market, most of the stocks will open flat too, and the market is just extremely sensitive. Stocks just moving up and down just a tiny little bit. Resilience is like all over the place because it's sensitive at the half gap. So when you're not far enough away from the half gap, resilience sensitivity is through the roof. So you're going to get a lot of false signals on flat days by using resilience, unless it's really clearly above. We say, like, as a rule of thumb, when you open flat, make sure resilience is above 10 or below -10. Don't be like, okay, it's bullish because it's right at 0. Allow it to like oscillate, but make sure it's like really bullish to go. Appreciate you guys giving me some love over there. I love you guys. That's really sweet. I want to make a splash. I want them to know that they, you know, that we're coming in with a serious community. You know, they've done good by us as a, you know, as a prop to the community. They've been doing a lot for you guys, you know, by having good rules, not having shenanigans and all that stuff. And so we're gonna come bless them with a killer community as well. So looking forward to doing that today. Wait, what did I say? How much? Somebody said that I blow them. Oh, how did I blow them? I blew them up like a balloon, baby. Let's see. How much? My payout was only $2,800, which was 50% of the gains that I made. So basically, in that account, you trade for 5 days, and then in your funded side, as soon as you get like 5 days, 40%, more than $500 a profit, you can take half of the balance. So I had like, I know $5,600 of profit in just one of them. I decided to take out the profit just to see if how the payout worked. I got paid out within 24 hours, and FundedNext gives you, I think it's $1,000 bonus if they don't pay out within 24 hours. They have like a payout guarantee, by the way, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, if you guys go drop some love in the link, or maybe some of you trolls might go in there and talk some shit. I don't even care. Just say anything at all. Engagement points are engagement points. Go tell people I'm the worst fucking scam artist alive. I don't even care. Just say whatever. Tell people that I eat at Arby's. Okay, no, that's going too far. I'll ban you if you say that. Okay, come on. How many days? 5 days. So with FundedNext, if you go in there and take the rules, so basically FundedNext, you have to have the first rule for the challenge is 40% consistency. All you need to do is trade for 3 days, and then you're funded. And then when funded starts, you have to trade 5 consecutive days to get a payout. Or sorry, 5 trading days to get a payout. And you have to have 40% consistency and at least $500 of profit, and you can take out half of that for the first 30 days. And after 30 days of trading, then you can take out 100% of your gains. I'll talk more about that after markets open. Markets open, guys. All right, let's be careful today because we got the minutes of the meeting come out for the FOMC later in the afternoon. I'll be on my funded Futures TV later on this afternoon, and we'll talk about it then. Welcome to the stream, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, friends. We are rolling, and we are ready to go. Okay, let's get our liquidity maps front and center. Obviously, right here, the yellow line is already kind of a resistance we look at. It's really hard to long into it or long near it without a really solid, like a really solid indicator here. All right, let's see if our liquidity maps are popping up here. I'm not seeing my drawings here. You guys have maps through yet, or is it just me? Oh, it's up. Okay, never mind. Refresh. Okay. Okay, just me. All right, same thing as yesterday. Okay, cool. So we got the same setup as yesterday. Pretty cool. Okay, resilience is positive, so half gap is support. Probably pushing up to that yellow line is really kind of like the RNL. That's kind of shitty. Downward dip to here, up to there is also a pivot to look at. Boy, market is kind of like jolting around right now. So let's chill on this and wait. So QQQ obviously can long at the open. The opening long is always a pivot to take a strong long to go. And then let's take a look at this. The selling pressure is a little heavy. But let's look at SPY and see if it's the same setup. Yeah, SPY is the same setup. So just like yesterday, the choice is long at the open or wait for the dip. So long at the open would be here up to next resistance, which is going to be yellow line. Nasdaq has about 60 points of run. The S&P has roughly. So the question is, can I pop along at the open just on one account? Could I? Should I? Would I? The problem is right up against this resistance. I'm not a big fan of trading right into that yellow. But yeah, longing at the open. We talk about the same trade as yesterday. 1A trade up to next resistance is here. Next resistance is all the way up at DD band. So if we do pass through this yellow line and support, it's a long chase for a second run up. So I can take a long at the open here on NASDAQ and S&P. Let's see if we do support here. I kind of want to give it a moment to wait and see. I hate longing near yellow line. It caused me to miss another day. I'll miss another freaking day. But we shall see. Yeah, half gap to yellow is still one strike. Yeah, pretty much. So here to yellow, that next pivot. I should probably, as much as I hate the idea of taking it. Okay, I'm still gonna wait again for the break. I want to confirm that S&P and NASDAQ are both gonna break through here. Okay. Nice bull long setup again. And just like yesterday, we aren't getting any kind of dip to support. The market is just kind of like trying to like bait people. It's like, okay, are you going to long right at the open and chase the high? Because most of the move took place pre-market, right? So ideal setups, obviously, just like yesterday, the ideal setup would be if we were to get some kind of bounce. That would be amazing. But yeah, so long at the open, long at the gap fill, and we are opening kind of like relatively flat-ish. There's not a lot of move here. This is just like 4 points away. Resiliences are positive, so that means we are likely to support the open. This is support here. And the idea is, do you want to chase long at the open? And we are pushing through yellow with some support, which looks pretty good. I don't hate it. Nasdaq's walking right up. So I want to see what happens at this resistance here. I'm not going to lie. So we're going to watch that carefully, right? I don't have any suspicion that the market's going to turn around and sell off either. Okay, I'm going to wait for the setup here. VIX is still in decay. Yeah, so things are looking solid here. So it's the same choice making as yesterday. Long scalp pivot from here to next resistance. The yellow line is that resistance, and the question is, what do we do with that knowledge? I'm going to wait for the orange or the yellow to break with velocity. Other than that, I can sit out and wait for better support to long from. So I'm going to chill on this for now. Just like yesterday, I chilled on it. And I'm going to wait and see. Now, I want to get some good bull pressure from here to jump on this. NVIDIA earnings is today, right? So let's kind of like make sure that we understand. NVIDIA is probably not going to make any big definitive moves here. And NVIDIA does have a really strong support at 135. So when NVIDIA does ultimately bounce there, we'll see what happens. I don't think NVIDIA is going to crash through this and break out. Actually, the market will be relatively stable even here. Yeah, no shorting, no short setups, none of this. Apple's hitting a resistance wall, which will probably cause a second leg down. If you were to, as a betting man, I think we're going to test the lows in just a second just here before we do push higher. So the market, I think, is going to shake out some of these initial bulls. As some of the stocks, you have resistance targets. NVIDIA has a leg down. Apple has a leg down before it does break, if it does go. And MHP is a really solid resistance, so be kind of careful there. A lot of the other stocks doing the same thing. Tesla is its little leg down there. Just check the bigs really quick. Amazon rallying on long up. Google rallying on long down, which is a pivot between hedge pressures, which is looking good. Microsoft. Yep. So I'm going to let this pull back just a little tiny bit and try to take a long, maybe back at the open. Let me see if it tests, because this is really kind of like, you know, if I do get a good breakout and run, then I can always jump in. There's plenty of room up to upper DD band, but you know me, I don't like the long against yellow. Ever, ever, ever. Always try to like utilize that as a potential resistance pressure. Kind of be careful about. Nasdaq is tapping its level there. S&P is actually trying to break its level here. S&P is looking pretty solid. So we're going to see what happens with NQs on the edge here. Prep and ready to go. Think we push to that weekly high and flush down? Very possible. I do want to see what happens to here. So this is going to be the first resistance that we see, 537 on NASDAQ. And again, my call is that we do probably come back and test the low, or the open price at least, just to see. The gap and go without tapping the open on a flat market is usually kind of choppy. So I'm going to trust that it'll be choppy enough to give me a second potential go at that level right there. So hopefully we'll see what happens if the market does this, and then we'll see what happens through there. If it just breaks through and keeps going, then I've underestimated, you know, this opening move here. Obviously, everything is strong and bullish. There's no signs of selling off. Everything is perfect. I don't normally take bull breaks into such a tight resistance. I want to at least let it test and prove to me that it's going to keep going. Get a big FU candle in a second here. But yeah, multiple taps of it today is probably a good sign that it's going to break through. All right, so there's the tap. I might take the long on the reversal. There it goes. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking for long stuff. I just always wait for the test though. This was the 1A setup on the BLU, and just like before, I didn't chase into it because it has a really strong resistance. There's that volume off of that resistance, and then I just don't take it. I let it break through, and then I make a decision. Man, this boy is so powerful. Now, the question is, I can take a long off of yellow if we do pull back. Nice long pivot there, looking good. Got those longs, nice. Yeah, long out the door is pretty decent for that kind of a setup there. Ooh, 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 ooh. So let's see what happens if it taps the bottom. We can take the test there on the long. I'm going to wait for that good, sexy pivot. Rejecting last week's hype. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. We'll check my bigger chart here. Okay, this looking pretty solid here. There is that test pivot there. Maybe I can try one NASDAQ on it. Like, I hate like chasing these longs without a support. So S&P is looking pretty solid. I do want. I'm waiting to see the S&P test. I mean, sorry, the NASDAQ to test and the S&P to both test. I want to see. I need confirmation that this is holding. This is such a strong pivot. Looking for longs. Yep, looking for longs. All right, guys. 1 second here. Check this out. We're doing a sale for FundedNext, and this is one of our biggest sales. I always kind of drop this every once in a while, but this is one of our biggest sales that we have going on. It is 40% off FundedNext. We normally get 5. So I'm going to tell you. Oh, I don't have that on the ads. Dang it. Okay, let me just whatever. Never mind. Just look right here. 40% off. No payout caps. No profit split. This is kind of the thing that everybody's been raving about. You've been seeing on social media. All the influencers are kind of picking it up. It is such a cool like account. because the idea that you can do uncapped payouts, no profit split, and no DLL makes it one of the best accounts out there. All right, so there's the test, and the question is, do I want to long it? Let's check the conditions. Are they deteriorating? Conditions are still pretty good. I can always take the long with a scalp here. Just with one, nothing big. I hate chasing longs on yellow breaks, but at least I'll plan something because it could run the whole way up. So we'll look at it that way. If it dumps and I take a little bit of a loss, that's totally okay. The open price is also support. Down here at the bottom, this would be nice. I'd like to see maybe what happens if we test the open, but either so. Like, I don't have much drawdown from here. This is only about 60 points, so that's roughly about $1,000 worth of drawdown up or down on this one. So we'll see if I get anything good off of it. And this one's giving me like same kind of vibes as the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still kind of like, right? But open and support half gap. Again, like I said, I don't really like this one that much, but we'll see. This open price here is going to be the support I was looking for earlier, which is kind of cool that it is hitting that. And the question is, do I want to take another long? I'm only tapping with one account, by the way, guys. I'm not going to put a lot of risk on this. So resiliences are still good. S&P is still good. No, not selling this, but just waiting for like a better pivot, you know? See if I get anything good. Just chasing along with one contract in case I get something good here. Half gap is also support. Open is also support. So worst case scenario today, underneath here, if I lose that, then I'm just out of the trade. And I can take one more long from there. So actually, I kind of do want to take a small loss on this. I'd like to get a better trade. I hate chasing longs after big pre-market run-ups. It's like my least comfortable trade because you're kind of like, you know, jumping in where you think towards the end of it. It still could be the beginning of a bigger run, but it always makes me feel a little kind of like, ugh. You know what I mean? I always get a little iffy. What about my stop loss? Always about 10 points under my entry. So, or on NASDAQ, 40 points under my entry here. So again, like I said, this is not the, you know, not the favorite trade here. I just want to take it just because if in case it breaks out. But 537 right to about 500. If I lose this current low, I'm out. There's really no good pivot inside of here. It can fill the gap. Other than that, it's just to have a potential long for a big breakout. The breakout potential from here is still pretty high in case it keeps running. I said my belief in this bull market, though, is supported by all of my indicators. So 540 to 693 is about 150 to about a 40-point loss. It's about a 4-to-1 in case it runs. I don't need anything big. I'm down about $1,200 if I stop, which I don't even care. I'm up 140K with Tradeify. I'm just tapping it with like one contract to have a little bit of fun with it. Just to see if I get anything good. And that's kind of inching right up to close to where my stop would be. And about 1,200 if I'm wrong. Like I said, I hate chasing the same thing as yesterday, and I sat out for this kind of reason. Because a lot of times it just bumps in that yellow and sells off pretty hard. That's suspicion here. Okay, we're back at the open. And let's see what's going on with SPY. Like I said, I'll just pop it out about 1,000 loss. SPY is tapping its yellow line. And that can be one of the bigger resistances we do have. So just be very careful today. Failing this is not the best. And I might just close out at about 1,000 loss and call it. And I'll do that. Perfect control. Made an attempt. Didn't like it. And now the market's dropping below daily open. That's near my stop. Totally fine. One contract, one account. Very little risk, right? So that's how I like doing it. Now let's wait for better pivots, right? So today with QQQ, let's see if we get anything better here. The next pivot is going to be roughly close to yesterday's close. From here is going to be roughly about 30 points lower. Let's see. Wait. 75 times 40, about 30 points lower from here. So right about 60 is that support. I probably closed a little early here, but it's okay. 60 is yesterday's close. And again, put this down here. Make sure we mark that up pretty good. Like I told you guys when I was doing that one, I'm like, yeah, it's probably not the best. I hate doing it. I didn't do it yesterday and I missed out. And today I did it and it didn't work. Such is trading. This is life. But hey, since I don't like it, I still took it small. I didn't hit this in like 5 accounts or anything. Thank God. All right. We'll wait for something better. I'd like to hit that blue hedge pressure, to be honest, at the bottom. Today's open. Okay. All right, let's let it fall today a little bit. All right. Half gap's like right smack in the middle. Now, this is technically a support with positive resilience, which is okay. EQQ is trying to fill its gap and S&P is filling its gap. Then we can just wait. What I'd love to see, to be honest, what I actually would love to see, this is technically a support pivot. Advantageous longs that don't want to miss out on a run. This is the only pivot you got to long from. If not, waiting for the bottom bounce is an even better setup. Now, I don't know if it'll fall that far today, but this is an advantageous long pivot for somebody wanting too long to bounce off of this. Resilience is strong enough. I can take one more attempt at it. QQQ fills its gap here. And SPY is trading a little lower. So SPY is dropping below. QQQ is overshooting. There's that resistance there. I can probably take one long off of this. Probably trade a gap fill. Just one more. I'll try it again with another $1,000 to fill the gap and run maybe. That's probably a potential pivot to long from. Other than that, nothing good. This is a resilience play. We overshot the half gap. Now to trade right back up to fill the gap here. A to B, this is a pretty good setup from here to here. We'll take one more stab at that, my friends. If the market sells off, the market sells off. I mean, I'm happy if it does. Daddy got puts. Daddy got puts. Daddy got puts. So we should be good if it crashes and sells. But other than that, I just want to grab dips. That failed. Grab another dip. See what that does. Let's do a gap fill play, right? From A to B here. That's a good setup. Take one more stab at that. And of course, even if the market does sell off pretty hard, I'm pretty happy with grabbing a hedge pressure long again. Can't argue with that. Gotta love resilience. Making back some of that loss. Resilience is positive. That's the better play right there. I mean, shit. All right, let's see what happens. Resilience is still hanging in there pretty good. All right, I don't think we close. Drop below yesterday's close. This is a good dip to buy. See, take the first long. Doesn't work out. Don't freak out. See the second one. See if it works. It's okay. Now, the trade is from A to B to fill the gap. And now the question is, do I just want to hold on to keep going? I usually don't. I usually take profit here. But for today, let's make it another all or nothing trade. Let's bet that we continue to rally today and let's hang on through the gap fill. I normally will trade just to the close and then close out, but hey, why the hell not, right? Let's see what happens if we go back and interact with yellow one more time, right? Let's not be a little wuss today, Matt. Let's have some fun with it. And we'll just see what happens. Let's see a deep V. Yeah, let's see if we get it. And again, like I said, if the market falls below here, we got plenty of room to wait for a better pivot. But he takes stabs where it matters. Resilience is still pretty strong, pretty good. I don't hate any of the things I see. Market pressing a little bit higher here. Good long resilience play in the middle of the box here. Pretty nice. And like I said, if we start breaking below the lows here, then, you know, just kind of like can walk away. It's not too bad of a, you know. And that's what yellow line does. Yellow line is a pretty nasty resistance, right? And again, this is one of those things that kind of like longing up in the yellow line. I kind of don't like that idea, but we'll see. And this is a key pivot today because we're at the gap fill for the S&P. This is yesterday's close on SPY. And that's it. And SPY losing yesterday's close price as well. Oh, is this a flush day we're getting? Come on now. One more bounce. Hang in there, baby. Come on, hang in there, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do I want to tap with one more account? Okay. I'll try one more time. I'll hang on just one contract here. I'll hit it with one more account just at the open here and see what happens. Resilience is starting to deteriorate just a little bit, but still good enough. Let's see how well it goes, friends. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you could do me a favor, if you guys, I love you all to death. If you guys can go here, everybody here, I know you're trading right now, but when you get a moment, if you like what we do here, go to this post here and give that post some love. I'm going to be hosting and starring in my own little segment in my Funded Futures TV right at lunchtime called Lunch Money with Matt. So you can go throw a comment down in there to show your support of the community or us or me or troll or talk shit or whatever. Just go give it some engagement, give it some love, retweet it if you can. I really appreciate that. Ooh, failing to break here with declining candles and declining volume. No, hang in there, market. Don't die yet. Don't break my heart 2 times. That's no bueno. Hang in there. You should be fine. You should be all right. We're doing the Nasdaq play here. Should be okay. Yeah, should be fine. S&P kind of suspect losing its close price from yesterday, but that's okay. Little overshoots expected. We are above triple B on our, you guys know how that goes. When you're trading above triple B, you get those overshoots. It does happen. But yeah, when I tell you guys yellow line is a really crazy pivot and I don't long and chase longs on bull breaks, now you guys know I wait for the test. Very, very cautious about that. So it's trying to make a run from here, which is what we expect, but why not pick up a lot of momentum? But I'm still okay. Just double check NVIDIA, make sure it's not breaking monthly hedge pressure. Not yet, nope. Apple did have a resistance at MHP as well. If I get bumped 2 times on this trade, I'm just gonna cry. Second tap support on QQQ. Resilience is slightly worse. Pivot is a little weaker, but still not the worst. Half gap is always really strong support. It did run to there, and then it's trying one more time to see if it sells off and see if it catches a bid. Wow, one more time. Blah. That's at the open. Chill one more time, and I'll take another loss if it does lose. No bueno. That's just an overshoot. How are we going to handle this? High volume overshoot candle to lose the open. All right, now let's see if it holds. Hanging in there. We don't want to see declining price, declining volume. Good, we had a rescue candle there. The algos picked this right back up and said, no, 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 no. The stocks are starting to move, so let's hang on to that. A question I have is, what in tarnation's going on here? Nasdaq resilience is losing, S&P's resilience is losing. A little bit of selling pressure across the board here. So be careful, you guys. Be careful today. All signs are still pointing up. It's still good enough. I wouldn't be too nervous or too scared of this today. All signs still pointing up. Slightly meh. Resilience just means I can get a lower pivot, and let me tell you, I'd love to get a lower pivot to long from. This environment, oh hell yeah. But I think we're good. I think that's the bottom, yeah, for the day. Should be okay. Unless resilience is just absolutely get neutered. We should be all right, guys. Hopefully so. Hopefully this starts to pick up some momentum. But anything below here, I can just, again, stop out really tight. One contract, not a big risk. But yeah, those yellow lines are pretty gnarly when they do sell off from them. And if this turns out to be that next sell-off day, then whatever it is, it is. What I'd like to see is this to go up to there and then reject if it is going to sell up. It would be the kind of the rarer case for this to just kind of open and just dump. But if that's the case, then that's the case. Like I said, I like to keep longing the market against good, strong pivots until it doesn't play out and then take a couple small losses and then call it. What's up? Good morning, Emma. I still got my put. So look, if the market crashes, you know, I'll be happy about that. But obviously, taking the long stabs here. Let's see if this plays out. Add that open price one more time. Let's see if it works. Let's see how well we do here. Let's get some green on the board again. Let's take that lift. And we got lift off. Let's go. Come on. Resilience is still hanging in there. Let's check on the scanner really quick and see which stocks are breaking our hearts today. We're the bad actors. The gap fill play. I could have taken profit there, but I decided to hold on just in case it's a runner. Distance to half cap. Who is on the edge here? The bigs. A lot of the stocks are right on the edge. That's the thing. Not like a flat open across the board for a lot of the plays. So when you start to see that overall declining volume and you see the candles starting to decline into declining volume, it means the algorithm is tracking the underlying. And if the underlying is selling, like, you know, we're losing some level in the underlying, the algo is just picking this up. So this is algorithmic. This is not bearish, though. It's not like there's a rapid selling pressure. It's just some of the stocks people are taking some profit on. But it is still above zero. This resilience line above zero is still good for support at the close. That's why I decided to hold on just in case it runs from here. Now, again, I'm going to do what I always do. I got to go to the bathroom, and I don't got to stop on this, so we'll see if it does okay. Y'all yell at me if it goes down. Probably will, though. Am I losing money? Am I losing money? Am I losing money? Oh no, resilience is now negative. Losing a little bit of edge right there on the S&P. That's not that good. I don't like it. I don't like it. Not the best. Not the best setup. Come on, hang in there, baby. Hang in there. Hang in there. Even when resilience is slightly below zero, I don't lose faith. It's right on the edge. I'm still happy about it, you know. But that yellow line is no joke. I love knowing that pivot. So usually when it breaks through and tests, I can take a long, but then take a quick stop. This is the next target that we have down below here. If we do lose all of this, the market's going to fall pretty now. About 120 points, 140 points to Nasdaq's next resistance. So yeah, if we do fall, I mean, there's like a lot of there's a lot of space to take another long. So Down inside of here is kind of no man's land. If I start losing this pivot and it starts selling off, I'm just going to back out of the way and then hit it one more time down at the bottom. Take little stabs of this the whole way. We need the rally song. You guys want the rally song today? Don't want the rally song today? All right. I'm going to say something, though. With the rally song... If it sells off, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be like really sad. Although I shouldn't be playing the song with negative res. I don't think the song's gonna change resilience though. But let's see if it works. Let's see if the magic power of the song saves the stock market today. Never back down. Never back down. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Mercy is for the weak. Here, in the streets, in competition, a man confronts you, he is the enemy. An enemy deserves no mercy. Sweep the leg, Johnny. All right. Its resilience not looking so hot. It's not... I don't like this low consolidation without movement. Declining volume, declining candle. Not good. Not the best. What's our longest trade ever? Like how long I've held a trade? Oh God. I've held options for like months before. Probably. I've held stocks for like, you know, years at points in my life. Honestly, guys, resilience is taking, so we're not getting the love that we want today. But again, you're gonna have to watch this. Not the best sign in the world, but negative resilience just means we fill the gap. It doesn't mean we sell off. So the market's gonna love this lower pivot here. This looks like a sell-off day for the stocks, though, so I'm going to be very cautious on this. Honestly, with negative res, I don't think I'm going to get a trade. I might close out for profit. I mean, close out before I can take another loss. If I don't get a bounce in the next couple of minutes. All right. I still kind of take this long here. Even with negative res, it only means that I'm not going to get the pressure I want to push up higher. So I'm waiting to see if the stocks get better, and then not. Still hanging on. Bum, bum, bum. Maybe we got to turn the song up a little louder. That might work. You can actually go to the contest channel and download them, bro. Like, they're there. You can go get them. I'm sure if you go up there, they should be there now. Down to the grave. Ryan, get out of here. I'm just kidding. I don't like this long setup at all. Like, I fucking hate it. It's not looking good. David, wait, no, you had a, bro, you have to send me text me a photo of you with a mullet. I don't believe it, man. I've never known you with hair. Yeah, send me a picture though. I gotta see. Low consolidation below half gap with negative res. Not the best sign. There's not momentum that's going to just spontaneously erupt from this unless people start grabbing the stocks. That's the problem. The song is keeping it from dying though, but the song only has so much power. People need to start gobbling up the stocks. You need to sell David Jones' locker. Hey man, if the market crashes, my puts are going to make so much more money than this, this funded account here. Not even scared. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close out. I don't like it. I know I'm being a wuss here, but I know I'm being an absolute wuss here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna close it. Let's let this market sell today. Close. I'm gonna close. I don't like it. And if I miss out on a bump, that's okay. But I don't like that we are deteriorating a little further. Now, negative res, again, doesn't mean sell off. It just means no momentum. So what I'd like to do is wait for something like more defining. That way I can have like a little bit better entry point. Watch this. You want to see how powerful the song is? Watch. If I start turning the volume down, watch this. So I'm turning the volume down. Watch this. Watch this. Go back to the chill music. Maybe some red candles. The song did all it could, guys. And as much as we love that song, it did not. We didn't pick up a rally. Resilience got worse. Thought an enemy deserved no mercy. Come on now. What happened here? Again, it's probably still going to rally, and I know I'm a big wuss by closing out, but whatever. I'm going to wait and see if I get something better. This declining resilience doesn't mean the market's going to sell off. It just means that the market's not going to pick up momentum above its close price. So today, NASDAQ, this is the high, and I'm basically just like done with it. All right. We're going to be smart about this. See, once I turn the song off, the red's starting to come back in. It's okay. Not the best place to be. Did we use up the last of the monkey paws last week? Well, I just need to take it back down to, the Hades and get Hades to grant it 5 more wishes. Once you turn the song off, the red candles come in, so we'll see. Negative resilience, what that actually means, if you guys are curious what this wide indicator means, I close out my positions, just chilling now. Resilience is actually a gap fill flux indicator. So essentially when I look at QQQ and I'm trading NASDAQ futures, QQQ has a pivot from here to here. If res is greater than 0, this white line down here, res is this white line. Okay. If it's less than 0, it pushes this way. And it is less than 0. So the idea is that this is actually the high of the day now. You consider this to be the new high of the day. The market's not going to pick up a rally if it's tracking the stocks accurately and the stocks themselves are filling their gap this way. NASDAQ is kind of doomed right now to be here. This is an early warning signal to get out of the way. And while it made some attempts to go through, just after this amount of time, I lost a little faith in it. Although it still can rally on its own accord. Obviously, the market's been very bullish. I don't feel comfortable taking it until conditions improve, and conditions have gotten slightly worse. So this isn't a short setup either. Like, there is no shorting against this, but it does tell me that the reward to risk is limited. As you see, we're hitting that and bouncing out. So looks like today's not a big, beautiful winning day for now, but we're going to wait and see if we get anything better, right? Let's watch ES really quick. How are the FundedNext evals going? So I got my first FundedNext payout yesterday, actually, of 2,800 something bucks. I requested that yesterday, and I got my first payout today within 24 hours, which was good. And the evals are great because I started them yesterday. One of them is up like, I guess 4K, and the other one is up 1,300. The evals I'm just pushing hard. Like I'm literally pushing hard to try to just get them funded as quick as possible, at least during the sale. And then one of the fundeds I'm trying to, so I can get the new no DLL account. So that one should blow up by tonight. So I'm in a different state of mind, you guys. I have 3 accounts are trying to make money. 1 account I'm trying to lose. Yeah. How many FundedNext accounts can you have? Up to 300K worth. You can get 12 25s. You can get 6 50s or 3 100s or 2 50s and 200s, etc. You can mix and match. The total account balance can be more than 300 for as many as you want to get. Are they one day past? No, they're 40% consistency. So, which is totally cool because then they go uncapped payouts once you get funded. And then just build a buffer on those to get funded. One of my funded accounts is up like 5,300 bucks. That was the one that took a payout. I was trying to blow up both of them, I'm not gonna lie. But one of them accidentally kept making money while I was trying to bust it, such as Wall Street. And I took the payout instead. Like I said, I tried to blow up all my accounts purposefully. Tradify advanced accounts of consistency rolling in the challenge. I believe it's 30%, 35%. In the challenge phase, let's double check. I know the growth does. Let's double check the advanced consistency roll. No. Hold on. Is there consistency roll on the advanced and growth accounts of Tradify? You guys that trade them, I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, Jimmy, I gotta get you the accounts for the giveaway today. I got you guys today. Let's see. I'm trying to remember this. FAQ. Let's go here. Anybody do Tradify growth or Tradify advance? Is there consistency or no? So the advance is probably the same. No growth in the, no consistency in the eval side. I'm looking it up right now. Advanced is going to be, doesn't say consistency when I look at it. That's why I'm asking you guys, because like in the FAQ it doesn't say it, but when I type it in, consistency doesn't show up there either. Yeah, so I don't think there's consistency in the eval side. You consistently lose them if that helps. That definitely helps. They're one day pass evals. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, no consistency on those. For the growth and for the advance. Yeah. So market conditions looking a little booty here. I'm glad I'm kind of like not still fighting this, but let's just watch carefully. Conditions haven't made much of an improvement. And also we have the minutes coming out today. So the market's going to probably, you know, move on that. It's some news event here. But we'll see if anything cool comes of this. I don't know. It would be like the rarest of the rare for the S&P and Nasdaq to fall from here. And if it does, it'd be fine, because if it does, that's good. We do have really strong pivots at hedge pressure down here, so I'd love to take them. Something about this just tells me I want to be long because it's still holding. Like something's going to come out, just like burp this price higher. Resilience is not that great, but do I still want to take the long pivot anyways? It'd be really, if it lost this, it'd sell off really hard. Do I want to take the long? Yesterday's close. Negative res is just the lowest confluence. I could still hit it with a small like I do every time I have lack of confluence. I can always small long it. 3 times support on it, and each time we bounce on it, resilience isn't getting worse. There is some green burp on it. Okay, I can risk another 1,000 on it. Just trading the range. Yeah, probably not a terrible idea. Okay, just one. It's like, I can trade the range just to see if it gets better, but man, this is pressing lower faster. And stocks are losing, so, you know, what are we going to do? Let's bet on the bull side. Still never really bet that markets crash that often. But let's see if conditions do improve while I'm in this long here. And I'll take a full $1,000 loss on this too. I'm not going to try to be wussy about this. I'm going to actually take the full spread of a loss. So I'll take a 40-point stop on the other side of this, roughly about 420. I'll try one more time. And then it gives me plenty of room to let this fall 140 points to go to hedge pressure if I do support it. So I'm cool. I think we're good. I always try to bet that at some point people come in and gobble the stocks. Now, resilience is saying that we don't have any power over this midpoint here, which I'm showing you. This is where that resistance is. This is how resilience is so strong, showing you that when it's negative, you're going to bounce against half gap and not really press through. So now I'm in a long for a step ahead. Will people start buying the stocks? So now I'm going to eyeball resilience and see if it starts getting better. Like, are there stocks that are starting to move? And NASDAQ did get a slight little bump here, but let's see if it gets a couple more. And if it doesn't and sells off, then I'll just take another loss on this and should be fine. Like I said, I usually just try to err to the bull side if I can, if there's no evidence of market selling off. But we are losing a little bit of S&P stock power here. This will be the third test. And if this loses one more time, it's probably going to fall. Try to get him right at the bottom there. And that's probably it. And done. No, say no to that. Say no to drugs, kids. Okay. Now, again, I will probably not do anything from here. Just kind of wait. Until something else happens. And dare. Say no to Wall Street, kids. All right, let's see if we get right back in. I'll jump right back in on it if things get better. But not... Yeah, the little flush candle was a little nasty. But you know what? I'll try one more time. Right to pivot. It could reject and sell off from here, so be very careful. I'm going to take one more chance at it. I just closed, just panic close. I should have waited for my full stop, but like I said, I'm being a wuss today. It's y'all's job to tell me not to be a wuss, guys. Chicken. What is the acronym for chicken stand for? Can have it calls. Can, oh, that's hard to do. That's too many C's and K's. Can hide it cool kids every night. It's hard to make some words out of chicken. I don't know. People are emotional today. Yeah. And the stocks are just getting sold off. I think because we really didn't have any big reason for the market to rally so hard over the weekend. I mean, the Trump pausing the tariffs another month in the UK is substantial, but it's not like it's just substantial enough to keep the market from being bearish. It's hope in the bullish direction. It just wasn't like a change. There wasn't much of a change that's gonna like, you know, lead into this. But I think Nvidia, there's something going on with Nvidia too, right? We have earnings today, obviously. Oh yeah, that's right. They had a merger, or sorry, they acquired another company. No, they didn't. They had a partnership with another chip maker for gallium arsenide, or not arsenide, what's the other material they make chips out of? They're another chip maker for a different material. METS, yeah, that's right. That's right. And we'll see if that, the problem with that is that Nvidia's earnings, I don't know if actually it wasn't a merger, it was just a partnership. So Nvidia's earnings shouldn't reflect that partnership. It's not like a loss of income or revenue yet. I don't think they have any business yet other than just announce a partnership. Usually when you do business with somebody and you're investing or building or buying something, you're going to take a hit in your revenues, but it won't show on this report because it's from last quarter. But gallium nitride, there we go. That sounds about right. You know, as semiconductors are hitting their limits on speed as far as transistors built on silicon, once you start making them so small, you start to get these like quantum effects between the transistors. You just can't get them small enough to get them, and they're super close to each other. They start to have, you know, weird effects where they interact with each other when they shouldn't be and things like that. So, you know, limiting what you can do with current materials and any kind of chip maker with a different kind of material that allows for smaller semiconductors or better semiconductors or whatever is kind of like a change in the status quo. And that's a good thing, right? And obviously like that's a long-term, like a paradigm change. And that could be a big deal for that company. You know, if chips start moving into a direction of different materials, you know, that could be huge for that company. Somebody was like saying, you know, how far could that stock go? Is it NVTS? Is that what it was? I wouldn't discount that as being like a one and done sort of thing. This stock could be $60 by the summer for all we know. But that's not a terrible idea, you know, and I don't know much about it. I'm just guessing on the surface. I mean, they make different materials. And obviously, because we know there's limitations on current materials, that that could be a big deal for this company. So we'll see like what happens. I think yesterday it was like up a whole lot from it's $2, went all the way up to almost $8 today. Honestly, yeah. And people are saying, how far could it go? I said, you know, you can't ever gauge by this, but I mean, if that's a really solid partnership and they're making chips longer term for NVIDIA, I mean, that could be just the start of a big deal for this company. So material changes is not just like a new product. It's a paradigm change. Like it would filter into every single one of NVIDIA's products if that was the goal. Who knows what it's for though? I haven't read any of this stuff. You guys might know better than me. I'm just speculating on the surface here with what little info I do have. That's some like brutal reddish-ish candles today. Monthly maps, clean and bullish, man. Clean and bullish across the board. Nothing's bad again. Everything's back to normal on the bull side. So market's kind of repaired itself over this weekend. But today could be that sell-off day in the mix of all of this. We don't know. I took one more stab at open. Let's see if I get one more thing out of this. I keep taking little tiny stabs at this here to see if the stocks improve. And there's a little bit of waves of somebody buying some of the stocks, but not. And there's a lot more selling than buying, as you see. It's just getting like toppled over. So what I'm hoping to see through all of this is that, you know, this starts to move higher while this guy is like sitting here and then just goes. But we'll see. Whatever opening selling pressure we do have, hopefully it gets overwhelmed by some buying. We don't see it yet, but I'm trying to get ahead of the buying. And the conditions are bad to long from here, so it's not the best long, which was only one contract. Somebody said, read my emotions. If I'm hesitant to long, don't long. If he stops on his long, short. If he's shorting, double down. the Matt never shorts rule. If Matt's shorting, it's definitely sure it's going down. So my puts, yeah. This bet was smaller than the last bet. My calls were 50K in. My puts only put 20K in. So if the market crashes and sells off, I'm absolutely good. I hedge my long play. I've been longing the market since, like, you know, basically April. As it's reaching like this kind of like place where it's transitioning in this consolidating area. I'm like, okay, I got puts in case the market crashes. I'll cash out pretty good. If the market continues to inch up, I'm going to keep longing at every strong long pivot I got. So that's kind of the trick. But resisting the bottom of the box is not the best thing right now. Unless we get a savior candle in a second, I'm just going to be like absolutely losing faith in this. No good setup on res. The market is trying to sell off, or the stocks are trying to sell off, but I never bet that the index sells off when res is negative. I don't. I still try to take a stab because it's rare to gap up and fall to yesterday's close and keep selling. If that happens, then that's okay. We know what's going to happen. I can just close out pretty quick. So right now I'm betting on me. Hopefully the stocks can get some move, but resilience is not showing any of that. And so for those reasons, I'm probably going to be out. I know it's kind of like a wuss move again. All right, let's close out. All right, I'm going to be a wuss today. It's getting worse. Hello. What you got? Oh, snap. What is that? Hey, pickle. Ooh, look at that. Very nice. Look at this. The egg, the consistency, the quality. Were you taking photos of this before? This is perfect, like, looking. The plate is all clean and everything. Wow. Thank you. I get scared when you walk up behind me with knives. I know. I know. This is the sweetest thing ever. Thank you so much. Oh, no, not yet at all. Nothing yet. Hey, buddy. Everyone say hey to Pickle, Rock Scooter mascot. What's up, boy? What's up, boy? Why are you always biting my nose? You always want to bite my nose in front of these lights.
It's that small, cute nose. He's jealous of you. It's like storming so hard outside.
Is that why it's dark everywhere?
Yeah, it's dark, storming. Oh, thanks for staying in for steak night tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'll be grilling steaks today. Thank you. You're so sweet.
Bye, chat.
So not getting any momentum off of this, but it's not selling off either. That's the crazy part. And S&P just trickling lower and lower and lower. That yellow line's no joke. Yeah, so I'm not like loving this trade. I'm really not. I'm not loving any part about it. So as much as I like to think that I can get something good out of this one, I don't think I can. Don't think I can. Dude, this is like the breakfast of champions. I love it. Like a avocado, toast, eggs. Oh. Dang, let's go. Mm. Live stream trading mukbang. Yeah. I've only been tapping this one with with a couple of minis. But that's not the best looking sign. We do have some good supports down here at Hedge Pusher though. Let's take one more attempt. Stocks are just getting hammered today, so I would say that this is not, there's not much I would do with this. This is an early warning. Resilience has been giving us a warning sign all morning that this is going to kind of probably die out today. So we're going to be careful today. That yellow line resistance is no joke, you guys. I tell you. I'm going to kind of wait on this. Usually I still err to the bull side in here. I'm still not shorting this, but the stocks are looking pretty bad. I wouldn't be longing either. Oh no, yeah. $4.95. Okay. This week overshot that pivot and turned around and sold off from it. Resilience is taking another nosedive. There are more and more stocks selling off today. So this is monitoring all the stocks at once, and Resilience just took a lower low. That is not the best sign in the world. So this market could sell pretty hard today. Those of you that are short could pay out pretty well. I'm fully out of my long, so I'm not doing anything yet from here, but stocks are getting hammered. The index is not like, and it's not like the stocks are getting like crashing hammered, but the idea that the stocks are just down here, and it is a flat day, and I told you resilience might be a little misleading. Just because it's low, it just means most of the stocks have moved a little tiny bit this way. It doesn't mean the stocks are crashing out, but that support is now clearly resistance, and so I'm out of the way. Next pivot on the easiest next pivot is just going to be hedge pressures. I mean, we got both of them lining up. That'd be a nice, clean, easy pivot to trade off of. 518 is a bounce. I'd love to hit that one. Yep, not going anywhere. Jim, dude, I just saw your Jim Daniels. I just saw your post, dude. That's hilarious. Jim posted a picture under the My Funded Futures tweet with they got my name wrong a little bit. It's okay. Okay. All right. Well, at least I'm out of the way and not like holding, you know. This, you know, resilience kind of gave us a hint for that. All right. Well, Gamma and all you folks that were shorting, congrats. That's definitely paying off today. Wonder what do you, all right. The question is, do I want to take one more stab long at hedge pressure? From here, that's roughly 25 points away. Sorry, 100 points away on NASDAQ. So equivalent speaking, let me just kind of delete some of these other pivots here. On NASDAQ, about 325 is that key level here. Middle check 18, 20, 100 points. 340 actually, let me here. Again, I'm not shorting this because I have no faith that the market's going to crash out, but either way, we're going to wait for a better pivot. Hedge pressure is about right here. And inside of this range. That was the trajectory. It could like meet up with that later. Not a bad spot to take a scalp, but even if it goes this far, it's not reversing the higher highs. Any trade off of hedge pressure from here is like a scalp only kind of thing. Usually when you break those intraday lows, you can get some good bounces off of it, but I don't bet that it reverses from here, but it can. So kind of waiting on this negative res, pulling this out. Longer setups down at the bottom. This 1A trade didn't play out, so I'm going to wait. Try here. I was trying to be long just in case resilience got better, but it's just kind of like the stocks aren't picking up any love, but in a minute they could. We're just waiting to see if they will. It's a big staircase down, no elevators today. Yeah, like literally no elevators. This is like slowly walking down. Let's make it one more attempt. I can try one more time. This isn't a really strong pivot, by the way. Do I? Still fighting at yesterday's close. A little bump on res, but not that good. It's really trying hard not to sell off, though. But glad I'm out of the way of this. There's still no like crash indication. Yep, everything's still pretty solid. We'll see. Even if the song didn't make the market rally, it's just not not the best, you know? You need the song to make the market rally. If the song isn't making the market rally, and there's a big problem with the market. Kind of a crummy day. Bum, 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 bum. Do we have a probability number for yellow line hold? We don't actually. We've not really done a study on them because it's kind of random. It's believed to be random. It's what's the probability that they reject and how far they reject whenever you hit them. You know, it's kind of like hit or miss because it has to do with the imbalance of that specific position. And the question being is like, how long does it take for an imbalance to become rebalanced or for sentiment to change? It's more like a sentiment driven thing. The idea that you don't have like a really strong grasp on like looking at a chart historically, what was the sentiment here, what was the sentiment here, what was the environment. It's more of an environmental sort of thing, and the idea is that you need to have some kind of like subjectivity to how important that particular pivot is based on the news that created it. Some environments, and there's all kind of factors like what is the probability they resist volatility is high, VIX above triple B when it's not. Things like that are going to be very important for that. But yeah, so. All right, I'm going to pull a different Dom up here because I'm going to trade on a different one. Let's see. I don't want to take any more risk in that account. Let me hit it with one of my bigger accounts. Which one do I want to do? Do this one. Your account has been temporarily paused due to a monthly loss limit. Who are you trading with? Let's do this one instead. This account has like $50,000 of buffer in it. This is my bigger one, so we'll play at the bigger one today. That way I don't have to like think too hard about it. A monthly loss limit. Usually if you hit a loss limit, I don't know what a monthly loss limit is, Mikhail. Are you trading CFDs or futures? I've never heard of the monthly loss limit as a thing. Tell me about that. That I don't know. Why do a lot of prop firms not allow you to DCA? Because DCA is a very risky thing for them. It doesn't cost a lot of money to trade a prop account. And if you just keep longing and longing and longing and longing and longing, you take no risk in case the market reverses and you can just luck into a trade. Because you have basically infinite ability to do that. There's no protection to them. So a lot of them don't let you DCA because when the accounts are cheap, people can just luck their way into wins and actually win pretty big just by continuously longing with low risk to them. Martingale, yeah, that's what they call it. You breached your FundedNext, you wait out for it to come back. If you breached your FundedNext, you can just re-up the account, like reset the account or get a new account. If it's one that you just bought and you breached, it's because you hit your total loss limit, so the account is done. There is no daily loss limit on the accounts from the last from the current sale. The 10 to 2 year treasury yield curve again, or the inversion curve? Okay, hold on. So the way that it works is that what we're looking at here, it's a recession indicator that basically shows when people are choosing a different maturity over the other. An example is you get paid an X amount of percent over a certain maturity. People are going to jump into the shorter term very quickly versus the longer term if they're really scared of a recession that's going to happen. You need to hedge for like a couple years. 2 years the way to go. The way bonds work is that when premiums go up, yields go down. And so a yield is an attractive rate that says, aha, you know, come buy our debt. So a bond is you buy somebody's debt or you loan them money, you hold on to their debt. They give you the money back plus a return after a certain amount of time. That time is called the maturity. If you want people to come do that business with you in that particular sense, yields must be attractive enough to bring people out there. If there's no attraction to the bond, you know, the price of the bond will drop just on natural supply and demand. There's no demand, so price drops. But also to attract people to it, the yield will go up. So price goes up, yields go down, vice versa. So this is the outpacing of the 2 year versus the 10 year. So the 10 year minus the 2 year. So it's saying, is the demand for 10 year greater than the demand for 2 year, i.e. if the 10 year demand is higher, the price is higher, which means the yield is lower. So 10 year yield should be lower than the 2 year yield when there's a demand for the 10 year note. Okay. When you subtract the 2, if this goes up by subtracting the 2, then it means the 10-year yield has a higher percent than the 2-year. It means 10-year has a demand lessening that's faster than the 2-year. So basically, you look at it that way. In this example, in 2001, when we hit that recession, right? It was negative. The 10-year minus the 2-year was negative. It means the 10-year was bigger than the 2-year, the yield, which means the 10-year was plunging in premium faster than the 2-year was. It means the 2-year caught some demand. So anytime this is less than 0, the 2-year note is catching demand. People are rushing in to buy it faster than they're buying the 10-year. Okay? Does this make sense? So it's kind of hard to wrap your head around the demand of the ups and downs, but just it's like you have to kind of do some inverting math in your head. The rule of thumb is that when this is negative, people are very attracted to buying that treasury bond more so than the 10-year one. And so if you think a recession's happening right now, you want to rush into something right now to hedge, like right now, like, oh my God, banks are collapsing. We need to jump in on something, or things are getting bad right now. A recession is looming. People are going to like the 2-year more than the 10-year. So because the imbalance of premiums, so 2 years should go up faster than the 10-year in premium, then the 2-year yield should plunge faster than the 10-year yield. So therefore, when you're subtracting the 10 minus the 2, that number gets more and more negative. And therefore, it goes below 0. Lots of, I know, mental math where just when it's less than 0, it's bad. People are warding off some kind of looming recession or something. And so right now, it's not bad at all. It's pretty good. Things are decent. Usually it's this way inside of a bull market or after a crash. Once you have your little crash recession, which we had in 2022, that was the recession we had. Things are back to normal. Right now, nobody wants any treasury bonds. So it's kind of like you're not really seeing a demand for any of them, even with the looming possible recession or problem. We're still not seeing people rush in and grab treasury notes because the or grabbing any bonds at all, period. It's just because the inflation is too high and the yields aren't high enough to be attractive against inflation. A yield is a fixed return. And if somebody says, I'll give you 2% in a year, and you go, yeah, but inflation is like going to be 7% this year because of the Michigan numbers projecting that with the tariffs. So somebody giving you 2% is taking 5% of your money from you because you're going to lose whatever you made. You're going to lose 7% total in general anyways. So you actually lose money in that transaction. So because the inflation is expected to be high, the yields and bonds are still too low to make them attractive, which is why the bond market's collapsing right now. And it's because of the inflation and the tariffs. The tariffs are absolutely going to crash the bond market. It's just inevitable. Kind of sucks. But I mean, whatever. And also because the stock market's hot right now, that's why people are piling their money in the stock market instead. Nobody's betting on a recession. Everyone's betting that Trump's going to fold and bend over and give up on the trade war. So there's really no panic in Wall Street right now. You can see it in the VIX. Nobody's expecting it to get worse. People are just doing what they normally do, loading up on stocks and just holding through it. If I start out with micro and build up the confidence to do mini, yeah, that's a good strategy. Nothing wrong with that strat. Nothing wrong at all with that strat. Let me double check my Rise account so I can make sure I got my payout here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, no, it's a 2-factor on here. So confirm to you guys that I actually did get paid out by FundedNext. Their guarantee is amazing, by the way. The guarantee that is, they give you a bonus check if they don't pay you within 24 hours. Love it. So 24-hour payout guarantee is lovely. Let's go to withdrawal. What do I have? Amount to withdraw. Hold on, dashboard. Balance. Balance has been submitted, $27.98, which is my payout amount. And it is withdrawn to my bank account as of right. Well, come on, load up. Oops. So cool. I have confirmed FundedNext has paid me out. Perfect. Let's take it all out just so I can take the photo of it. And we are confirmed. And password and done. So yeah, FundedNext paid out 24 hours. Money's in my bank account right now. So that's good. If you're delayed 15 minutes, you might be in a sim account or you need to update your data feed DWG. Everyone should have 2-factor on all financial logins. Oh yeah, 2-factor, 3-factor, face recognition. You kind of should go all through it. So there you go. Just letting you guys know so like I always tell people, like, you know, it's not real until it hits your bank account. So it wasn't a big deal. I just wanted to get to the first payout, go through the process, you know, fill out the form, request the payout, see how long it takes, see a deposit, and let you guys know my experience if you guys are trading with FundedNext. Experience has been great. A+ so far. No shenanigans. No, send me a video of your trade so I can make sure you're real. There was no question asked. They took my payout request. They paid me out, and that was pretty good. Best trade partner ever. Thanks, bud. Making moves to another broker, just practicing right now. Oh, okay, cool. How do you fix the delay? You're also showing delayed. If you're using our platform and it says delayed data at the top right, you should be able to click it and upgrade to pay for non-delayed data, or go to connections in the bottom right. We'll say live equities data, and you should get that. Should work. That's good to see. Oh, did I take a screenshot of that? Let me get the old screenshot here for this one. Boom, boom, boom. I tell you guys, I always post the transactions so that way you know. Let's go screenshot of this. Picture of that. Oh. All right, there it is. There she goes. There's the amount. Perfect. 2797 completed transactions. This is from my Rise account, so let me go tweet that. You always want to know, like, do these guys pay out? What's the process like? I always tell you, I'll guinea pig it first. I'll run through and let you guys know. Good deal, good deal. Oh yeah, you guys want to do a giveaway? Okay. All right. TPT declined your payouts, bro. I heard, did you ever get follow-up on what they did at TPT? You're new trading, what website are you using? This is Rocket Scooter. So if you go to the description of this video, there are a bunch of links for how to get access to this. All right, you guys, time to do a giveaway. Boy, oh boy. Today, MFF, MFF, MFF. They dodge your inquiries. No, it's not good, man. That's shady. That sucks. I'm really sorry to hear that. Looks like the market's picking up some steam one more time back into the middle. Resilience is slightly better, but still just like hitting that same little pivot there. All right, you guys, hit MFF in chat. You guys ready? Let's get ready to roll. Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me. The problem is it's hard to bust some of my FundedNext accounts because it takes has this daily loss limit on the old ones. Check my. I'm just trying to see if my rise. It says paid. Okay. Cool. Let me double check. Should be good. Oh yeah, they couldn't edit the post. They misspelled my name. That's okay. Autocorrect gets it. It happens. It happens. MFF, MFF, MFF. Okay. Rise, pay. Completed transactions. Good. Should be good. I thought it should transfer to my bank immediately, but I wanted to take a screenshot of it to show you guys. It's not in my bank yet. Hurry up, Rise. I'm showing you guys my payouts in real time. Come on. Nah, who knows? Maybe it takes a minute or two. All right, today's giveaway to celebrate my starting as a host on the My Funded Futures Network. Giveaway to My Funded Futures. I think there's 25K starter accounts, I think, what they're giving me. And by the way, come over there. When I give you the link here to go over there, they might do giveaways all the time over there, especially being the first show. And I'm going to tell you guys, not to guarantee anything, but y'all want to be there. I was on their show twice in the morning slot, and both times I was there, they gave away 50 accounts. So I don't know if they're going to plan something for day one. I'm not hinting at anything. I really don't know. But history serves, they might. So you guys might want to be there. Chinzo, what's up, Matt? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, bud. Said, I'm so happy. Appreciate hearing that. Comments are nice. All right. My Funded Futures time to go. Wait, hold on. Okay.
Support in the bull zone. Everything rocket scooter. All you need and all you own. The hedge pressure resilience. Support in the bull zone. Everything rocket scooter.
Okay, 2 winners today. Giveaways every single day on this channel. Two accounts. My Funded Futures. Who's the winner today? Alta 2, congratulations. You are the first winner. Give a minute to type something in chat, or you forfeit your prize. There you go. Somebody understood the assignment. Wait, it's been a rough trading day. We need these. We gotta save this. No, I'm just kidding. Ow, ow, boom, boom, boom. One more winner. Work hard, dream big. Shouldn't we all? Congrats, man. I'm gonna tell you guys, come over to my fund, and when we go over there, they might do a big giveaway for day one. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but we will find out together, whatever they're gonna do. Okay, guys? So thanks for tuning in. We're gonna be there in like an hour though, so don't leave yet. Hour and a half. Congrats to the 2 winners. All right, you know the rules. Take a screenshot. Again, I've had to tell somebody they can't win because they didn't do the screenshot. Go to your YouTube, take a picture of your YouTube account. It must match the name here. Go to my Discord, send me a message with that picture. Congratulations, I'll get you guys your accounts today. And the people from yesterday, I'll get you guys your accounts today as well. Been a busy day with the whole My Funded Futures thing. A lot of stuff. FundedNext customer service chat is terrific. Well, FundedNext is also not in the United States, so you might get some language barrier and time zone difference issues. But other than that, it's expected. When am I next live? Every single morning at the same time, 8:30 Eastern until noon, 30 Eastern. And I roll into another channel where I'm streaming on My Funded Futures Network, My Funded Futures TV. Let me give you guys the link to that already. Actually, let me find it.
Money moves, but the mindset stay. Discipline first, that's the only way. Big wins, small wins, all gotta play. Rocket scooter up, we don't fade up.
I want you all to come there. If you do me a favor, let's get the numbers high today for the first show. I'd love for y'all to be there. You know what I'm saying? Supporting us. Get those numbers really big. Show them that we're the best. This is their channel. We're not going there yet, but that's where we will be. An hour and a half. All right. Let's see if it has transferred to my bank account. Yeah. Rise is usually instant. That's what's really like concerning. It's not. It'd be a Rise thing, not a FundedNext thing. Yeah, usually my Rise payouts are like pretty instant. Kind of like a boring day today. Yeah, what's up, Pickle? Oh, what's up, boy? Where'd y'all go?
Just went out. Just opened the door.
Oh, for real? What's up, buddy? You don't have to come in here and pick up the money after every time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so nice that you do that. I really appreciate it. You would be great at a strip club, like honestly, just walking around the stage.
At a strip club.
No, they would hire you to be the person that crawls around the stage and just picks up the dollar bills.
As long as I wear like super shorts.
No, you'd have to be like wearing like a black unitard because you're supposed to blend in like the stage hands. You would just be like the backstage crew, you know? That way nobody would know. That is funny. What? You feeling better? Or what? You still sick?
I don't know if I still should get on that plane tomorrow.
Probably not. You should stay home. Today is the first My Funded Futures show. Yeah, in just a little bit. Just a little bit. You guys do me a favor here. Let me put something up here. Hey, Tyler said he saw you sneaking money out of there and putting it in your pocket. He said put it back. Should be stealing my money. That is real fake money, okay?
Shut up, Tyler.
This is very real fake money.
Every time I'm gonna go into chat, I'm gonna be like, shut up, Tyler. They're gonna be there. In my intro.
So my funded futures TV, should I call it MFF TV or MFFU TV? I don't even know. Let's call it MFF TV. MFFU TV? Okay. Because MFF is my funded Forex, right? That's their other version, their other stuff. My funded FX. Work big, dream hard. Bam, 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 bam. Listen here, everyone. Come join giveaway. Maybe. Okay. Like I said, no guarantees, but I'm sure at some point they will. So don't leave yet. Like, everyone chill here. What I'm going to do at the time, it's a time to go to the show, is I'm going to post a link here. I want all you guys just to raid the channel and be there. I want to start learning how to do seamless transition, where basically like I just close this stream down and I'm already live there. So I might start that stream while I'm still here and then have the closing stuff happening here, like the stream closing down while I'm in the lobby there. We'll see how that works. Bum, 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 bum. I really am. I'm excited to see what's happening over there. I can get used to the flow of all of it. Bum, 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 bum. Get my layout here ready to go. I kind of wish it was like a better trading day though. I can walk in there and be like, "What's up? Crushing it all morning. My first day on the show, 20 gig profit. No, my first day on the show, whittled away 2 longs with $1,500 of loss or whatever. Boo. What? So how was your trade day today? Well, I purposely tried to blow up a FundedNext account and then I lost $1,500 in my Tradeify. How's your day going? That's a funny start of the day. That is the next Johnny Carson. I should do the, the genie guy that he had that would read the future. If it happens during the inaugural show, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm just speculating. Look, I'm a trader. My job is to try to predict the future. And if I know anything about these guys, they love to make a big splash on their show. The first 2 times I was on their show, they did big giveaways. So I'm sure today is a really big day for them because they have 2 new hosts. They have me and somebody else. I think somebody else goes on before me or after me or something. I don't know. But so they're filling out the rest of the day with traders. And so because it's a big day, I'm sure they'll be doing like big giveaways, you know, guessing. Giving away accounts and resets today on the TV station. Oh, cool, cool. I'm still waiting to see how long it... My rise payments have always been instant, so I'm really curious why it's not showing up just yet. Try one more time. That is quite odd. Bum, 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 bum. What did the code start with last time? Not really sure. Yeah, I got offers to run the... I got offers to be the lead host, like the morning host, for like 3 different shows total. 3 shows total. The morning show, the 9:30 show. I had to turn down... So 3 total. I had to turn down all 3 of them, and then afternoon is the only thing I could do. Rotation from NASDAQ? Yeah. Looking a little bit like that. I mean, the S&P as well. I mean, a lot of the stocks I would say are getting sold today, just genuinely sold. There's a little profit taking off of the weekend. The market is testing weekly highs from last week, right? So we're still kind of like in that boat of technical resistance. I don't see any reason for it to sell off, but the market is still, you know, double topping against this one particular, you know, area. And people are gonna, you know, react to that. Doesn't mean it's resistance or it should be resistance, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've hit the same spot and turned around. If I were to be a betting man, I think that we're okay for the rest of the day here, and that it might pick up some steam as the next couple of days go. If it's still bullish and good, we are picking up a little bit of extra volatility today, so this isn't the best sign that the market is going to be super clean just yet. This very well could try to, you know, sell off some of that gain that we had from the holiday. This really moved on very little news, so who knows how the market's going to perceive that. The FundedNext customer service agents answering someone else's question in your chat. Well, okay, think of it like this too. Okay, this happened to a TPT. They're having the biggest sale in the history of prop firms right now. And they are overwhelmed with people signing up. I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of new customers. So it's likely to be like that probably for a little bit. Probably this week, I'd expect any customer service around there or anything around there to be slow. Because, you know, just like me, you know, we get a big influx of people, the staff gets overwhelmed, and that's probably part of it. TPC customer service is basically still down. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, they're really bad over. They're slow over there. But all that means is they need more staff. So be patient with FundedNext. I'm saying I'm sure they'll be able to get in on it. But yeah, there's a language barrier. They probably are doing translating, you know, because it's a global company. So I've mentioned to them that their customer service agents, they didn't understand my question because I can easily tell English wasn't their first native language. So they weren't really understanding what I was saying, and they were answering my question incorrectly. And I think that that's part of it, but also the extra volume would make it really slow on top of it. Who's calling me? Hello? Hi. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Purple monkey dishwasher.
Hi, my name is James and I'm calling from the Accident Claims Helpline. How are you doing today?
Rainbow Skittles. Coca-Cola.
I am calling you today in regards to your previous accident for which your compensation amount is pending. I hope you remember the accident, right?
Absolutely. I drove my car over a cliff and it did like somersaults in the middle of the... I'm talking. Don't interrupt me. How dare you? I'm hanging up. Oh my God. The accident gave me amnesia. Oh my God. Sick of the script, bro. Come on. Like, seriously. Ugh. It gets fun. Sometimes this one said Harris County Health. That was alarming. Now they're pretty brutal because anytime like a hospital or a doctor or something calls, I gotta answer it because it could be one of my parents or something, you know, like bless, you know, like knock on wood. But I answer it and then it's Indian car insurance scams. I don't know, like, Lord. But the caller ID says something like, you know, Memorial Hermann Hospital or something, and you're like, holy shit, I better answer this. They're getting good with giving you reasons to pick up the phone. Giveaway prize. If it says something like giveaway price winner or something, you probably would think it's a scam. But then it's like you have to answer it every time. If it's hospital, you have to, because the one time you don't, it becomes the time you should have. Why resilience didn't predict the sell-off in the beginning of the day? Resilience doesn't predict sell-offs. I've covered this a million times. Resilience is... I've told you this a million times too. Resilience is not a sell-off predictor. Nothing can predict a sell-off. Zero things can predict a sell-off. What resilience predicts is the action inside of the box. The index and the stocks sold at the same time. So with resilience being positive, all you tell yourself is that is support and that is support. With resilience is negative, if you're inside the box, you say that's resistance and that's resistance. That's it. That's all it's going to tell you. So right now, as it's rallying and it falls to the box, my eyeballs go down to here and say, well, it's still kind of positive, so it's all right. Then it falls to half gap. Then at half gap, it's pressing through zero and then loses zero. So now as it falls through here, I'm not betting that it turns around and rallies back up, because now resilience is flip-flopped. So inside of here, my resistance is there. As I wrote high of the day on the stream earlier, which is why it's having the hardest time breaking through the halfway point. Resilience is a pivoting confluence indicator only here and here and here. I don't stream on Twitch anymore. I tried to stream on Twitch just to see what kind of traffic it would get. And literally zero financial community on Twitch. The only people that watch any kind of trading on Twitch were taken there by people that are Twitch streamers that stream on Twitch. They took their communities there to watch them. But there is literally like zero people that go to Twitch to watch anything trading. So I stopped wasting my time with it. A couple people watch like Stock Jockey and the Stock Guy or whatever. They're both great shows, but they go there because their communities follow them wherever they go, much less than people on Twitch who are naturally like, you know, scouting around to try to find trading communities to watch. It's not necessarily like a big community. Twitch was never for trading. They actually don't allow trading the longest time. I don't know if they still do, but I guess they do because people are doing it. But the longest time trading was considered gambling and they wouldn't let you stream it. So it just never picked up. It wasn't any extra effort just to click a second button to stream on Twitch, but it was like a second chat feed I'd had to read. And then like 10 or 15 of you would show up over there just for support. And then I was like, eh. Yeah, it only shows what's going to happen in the box, resilience. You got some auto insurance prompt yesterday, Handsome Dan? Oh, yeah. Do you remember the wreck you just got? What an interesting opener, because I'm sure there's a probability of people that have been in a wreck in the last, I don't know, month or so that'll say, yeah, that's me. It's just like the mystic mind readers that you'll see on TV that are like, I'm sensing there's somebody from your past, name begin with a J, right? Oh my God, my great aunt Julie, who passed away when I was a kid. Yep, that's it. That's the one. So she's telling you that, you know, things are tough in your life right now, right? Oh my God, yes. She's watching me from the grave. Perhaps a sibling. And what she's saying is you just keep your head in there and do well, okay? You're going to get that promotion, your job you want. Oh my God, I've been wanting a promotion for so long. Yeah, right? I can be pretty good at that. She's saying, buy GameStop, bitch. Put all your money in. Let's go. No, I was kidding. No, seriously. It's so funny. You just use the letter J, because everybody has a relative with the letter J in it, or M. These are like the two most common names on the planet. John and freaking Mary. Mary is like the most common female name around the world. And in every language, it's Mary or Miriam or Mary or Mary. You just say M and half the people in the world got a relative with an M in it. And I'm M for Matt, so. There you go. Just Solent and Always Sunny yesterday. Oh, yeah, nice. Sunday morning healers. oh yeah, you tell people they're going to get a promotion. Well, everybody's got a job, right? So, I mean, if you're paying for a palm reader to read your palm, clearly you got a job and clearly you're looking to advance in the ladder. Duh. Now, IDoc and I was really funny. We went out one night and we went and did something. Tarot card. It was pretty scary accurate. But then I'm like, wait, did I fall for the bait? Did she tell me generic stuff? It was weird because when you compare stories, each person got a completely different story that was relatively unique to them. So whether the medium had like, or the fortune teller had like, you know, 3 or 4 different scripts, mine was all about business. And it was at the time I was growing Rocket Scooter and like going through all this stuff. And mine was all about business. And hers is all about family. And both of our troubles in life were business and family, respectively. So whether she just randomly picked a script out of the hat, it hit both of us pretty good. And we were like, okay, that was kind of cool. So had she told IDoc like your business is doing, mine was like your business. You're working on some problems in your business. When we started the marketplace, and I was running both companies at once and trying to build 2 things. Rocket Scooter launched, we're doing huge releases on it, and marketplaces launched, huge releases on that. And so, yeah, I was struggling, right? Because, you know, we were understaffed and we had so much volume come through. And I was like, you know, trying to run 2 different companies at once while streaming. And I was like, okay, I'm struggling in, you know, my time management, everything. And so she nailed that. But if she would have told IDoc, you know, your business is kind of having some issues, she would have been like, I don't run a business. You're wrong. So, no. We don't do it for real. It's not a real thing. We do it for the fun of doing something at 2 o'clock in the morning after you've been drinking at the bar next door. Basically what it was. The lady was like, you want fortune tell? You sit here. I do fortune tell. Okay. Turn off TV. It's in her living room. Literally. It was like a house with a TV. I turn off TV. You sit here. I'll go back. Pretty much business for a dude. Now I realize I fell for it, right? Business for a man, family for a girl does seem like a pretty common spread of script. That is true. That is true. We fell for it. But it was actually, we did it for the entertainment value of like, what are we going to do, man? Everything's closed. We're like, let's go get our palms read. Like, what? Like, dude, it's only like $40. All right, let's go. But yeah, definitely not real. 100% not real. No, definitely, I don't believe it's real. I'm just giving you guys a funny story while we're chilling. No, yeah, no, if any of this was real, you know, they would be like day trading and making money like with it. It wouldn't be, it's just like, you know, if you were a good day trader, why are you selling a $20 Discord sub, bro? Yeah, if you could predict the freaking future, why on earth are you selling $20 palm jobs? Oh, giggity. Palm jobs. Let's go. My fortune teller was Tom Waits. She kind of was, yeah. She's like a 60-year-old Eastern European lady. And wore like this hat with like pearl necklace kind of thing. Palm jobs. We had some great $40 palm jobs, I'll tell you. Yeah, it was good. She did both of us at a different time. Not at the same time, though. Catch my drift. Favorite Gaines had a tarot section in his analysis he laughs at, but sometimes he lines up and it's spooky. I'm sure, like, you know, as streamers, they have to just entertain you guys with something, but that's funny. Jason had a palm reading section. That's hilarious. We used to have this joke where we would like look at sunspot timings and say, you know, the sunspots are going to predict when oil prices are going to move, because one guy from our old community, back before his Rocket Scooter, when it was just Day Trader Paradise, one guy from the community used to talk about the sunspots. He was like, no, like the oil, you know, oil reservoirs time themselves with the gravity from, or the energy from sunspots interacts with the earth. It was a very pseudoscientific about it. And I was like, I know some spots emit a certain amount of radiation, but it was almost like borderline, like we're going to turn into werewolves sort of talk. And so sunspots became like the inside joke of the old community. When we had like, you know, people were like, no, Matt, don't take the long. Why? Well, because I looked at the sunspot chart today. It's telling you the short. So palm jobs are super kinky. There are people for real that use the moon cycles to trade. Oh yeah, no, 100%. I mean, there are some human behaviors that line up with the lunar cycles. This is part of humanity, but do we change our mindset? Because the gravity changes when the moon moves around the earth. We feel the effects of that. But does that affect people's trading? Good question. If you blow an account in the challenge phase, you let it sit there and buy another. They're only offering 10% discount, whereas you get a new account for 40% off. Get the new account for 40% off. I would do that. Pretty sure there are some scientific papers on how economic cycles line up with the sun cycles. Oh, obviously, yeah, there's got to be. Somebody out there certainly tried to do that relationship. Backtesting video that claimed 80% win rate on the lunar cycle. I've seen a video of a hamster in a wheel randomly choosing crypto trades and having a profitable portfolio. The hamster ran this way, it was a long. The hamster ran this way, it was a short. Or the one where the chicken is pecking at different buttons and it was like picking things out of a hat to trade. Oh, what's his name? Dave Portnoy would pull Scrabble tiles out of a hat, out of a bag. And whatever those 3 letters were, he would buy the stock. Whatever it was. He was like, I'm going to just buy this stock and it's going to go up and make money. That was a funny one. Was he getting a palm job? No, he wasn't getting a palm job. That's his problem. He should have been getting a palm job. Your son's hamsters are freeloading. No, put that hamster to work, man. Make him pay his own bills and buy his own wood chips for his cage, okay? Oh, no way, Little Blue. They had sports books that would be sent out. Half of them would predict right, half of them would predict wrong. So each iteration of that, you capture half of your audience as believers. So half and then half of the half and half of the half. So all you have to do is successfully predict it 2 times in a row, and people will be an absolute believer, I would say. So if you have a population of 100 people and you send half books that predict up or down, and then 50% of the people are like, oh, this is cool, let me look at it again. And then you send those 50% half up and half down. Then 25% or a quarter of your population base will believe you can predict the future because you did it twice in a row. That's actually pretty smart. Yeah. That's a really smart. That's a cool experiment. There's weird videos people are find basically a form of that. You stumble across one of the statistical anomalies and you think there's value to it, and all it has to do is get it right a second time and you are hooked. Then it's no longer an anomaly. Then you're like, okay, there's something here. And trading's the same way. If you use a method and win 2 trades in a row, you're usually going to lock into that method for like 5 years until, you know, your bias is set early on. And I've learned this too, and I teach this in trading, is that usually your first trade kind of determines the next 5 years of your trading. It's really weird. It's some kind of like emotional lock you have. If your first trade makes money, you're usually overly confident. If your first trade loses money, you're usually overly shy in the market, like in your trades. You're gonna be like gun shy to pull the trigger. If your first trade kicks your ass really hard, you're not gonna have aggression going forward. If your first trade rewards you with a whole lot of money, you're gonna have stupid confidence and you're not gonna avoid risk very well. And it's just because like confirmation bias is set early on. And if you do the same thing twice in a row, or somebody hands you an indicator and says, hey dude, try this thing, and you try it out and it works 2 times in a row, usually you'll be using it for years until you determine it, until you convince yourself it doesn't work. Because those first 2 experiences are so locked into your brain. Chris, it's like I must have lost her first trade. Happens. Am I in profit? No, I'm down $1,500 today on this account. It's not really that easily tradable. I'm still waiting for conditions to improve so I can see if I can take a long or a dip to buy. My targets today are a dip to buy from here in case it does fall, or continuing to trade from open to close if this white line starts getting better. And it's not getting that much better, but it's not getting that much worse either. If you were to ask me to take a bet, I would err to the long side today, at least for one more run up there. But for now, I'm kind of just waiting to see something better. Okay. We'll check. $12:30 Eastern, yep. So, oh, that's in 50 minutes. Okay. Your first trade was $50, but turned into a 20x win on a shitty penny stock. You've been hooked ever since. How long did you trade penny stocks after that? That's my question. If that were to happen, okay, finally my Rise payment cleared. Okay. I was like, usually Rise payments take, oh, well, I should probably take this picture from my, snap a photo of this for the gains. All right. So technically speaking, I have officially received the money in my bank account from my FundedNext account, and it technically has taken less than 24 hours. I submitted the request. Actually, I submitted the request 2 days ago, but the problem was the onboarding. I didn't complete the onboarding. I didn't go into Rise and see I have to sign some documents. The minute I signed the documents, it's been 12 hours since I've done that. And so the payment hit my bank account 12 hours technically after I signed all the documents. So with that being said, officially can state that FundedNext pays out pretty damn quick. I'm loving it. Cool. I'm loving it. Neat. Bum 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 bum. Problem is I got to trade one more day to blow up these FundedNext account, the one I'm trying to blow up. I was so far ahead in profit. The funny thing was this account had 4,000. This is a funded account that had $4,000 in profit. I was a day away from payout, and I'm having to lose max loss each day to finally get it to zero. I've got $389 to go, so it means tonight I can bust it and get the new one tomorrow. What I'm trying to do is get the no DLL accounts to babysit. So yeah, so by the way, guys, I had an account that was funded that had money in it that I'm purposely trying to lose on purpose. The damn daily loss limit has taken forever to lose it. So that's where that's my goal today. So today I'm purposefully trying to lose. It's hard to lose when it's actually hard to go out of your way to lose, by the way. That's not an easy feat. Should have asked me. You could have lost it for you. Oh, I know, Simon. You were the first person I thought of. Beforehand knowledge of Fed minutes. Right. And we can already guess what the Fed minutes are going to be like. The Fed minutes are going to have very little indication of any kind of rate cut. The minutes are going to state that the policy is kind of divided, or the policymakers kind of divided, because, you know, half of them believe the trade war is going to persist worse. Half of them believe the trade war is progressing okay. And that, you know, the market's they're probably going to get rate cuts until they get more confident to their 2% target. Although Powell has hinted that rate cuts could be coming in recent, you know, conversations and press conferences. It's still too far away from their 2% target to expect anything to happen. So I think the minutes are going to come out very muted. But the market needs a reason to move. So people are going to flip shit over anything anyway. So even though the minutes are going to come out kind of mild, I'm sure some kind of part of that headline is going to be big, and that the news is going to run within, the market's going to flip out and go crazy. So we shall see. But I don't expect the minutes to have any kind of big reveal. They usually don't. And it usually the time it does is usually the market is in like a really weird state, like in a place where, you know, the market is already damaged and things are like crashing out, and the minutes don't offer any hope, then the market crashes further. We've seen like the negative effect like that. Whereas you should normally see, you know, but usually it's like not a tiebreaker when market's just chilling and set. We can expect that there's going to be no good news in those minutes. Nothing that's going to be exciting. Right. Is there something that the minutes hide that we don't see yet? Have to see. Settings, hedge pressure. These conditions, 80% same. Close above. My next iteration of Rocket Scooter's UI is going to start having back tests on this, which I'm really excited about. I got way too many pivots on this one particular day, though. It looks kind of a little crazy. How the backtesting work? I'm not sure yet because I'm still in the process of designing it. But the way that I want to do it is that you will have a widget to interact with where you can state your conditions, like under these conditions, A, B, C, D, E, like the irrational rules, like under these conditions of irrational, VIX below triple B, yada, yada, yada. And then you have time conditions you can change between 0 and 12 months ago. How many times has hedge pressure bounced with no overshoot, or an overshoot of less than 10 points? And it would be like an AI-based question that you could either have prompts or like checkboxes if it wasn't, or an AI-based thing where it would understand what you're asking. And the team believes that AI is the best way to go, and that you can ask it a real question. Hey, what's the probability that hedge pressure bounces right now under these conditions over the last 10 years of data with a 10-point stop on the S&P? What's the probability I get stopped out? Oh, well, then it goes, the probability gets stopped out is 23% or whatever. And that you'd be able to kind of give it those parameters and then have it answer the question and then print them on the chart. Why not keep the old accounts? Is there a maximum accounts you can have? Are you talking about me with FundedNext? You can only have so many accounts open total, and the old accounts don't come with the no DLL. So the old accounts I had that were funded were great, but I mean, I'm babysitting an account to make a $3,000 payout. Doesn't sound really that cool. I want the uncapped version of that. So I can't have to replace them because I'm already capped out. I already bought all my accounts before they had the sale. which kind of sucks. I didn't even know they were having the sale until after I bought my accounts. Maximum accounts you can have is 300K total worth of accounts. So either 12 25Ks, 650Ks, or 300Ks, or any mix and match of the 3 different types, like 100K, 4 25Ks, and 250Ks, or 250Ks and 200Ks, or whatever you want. But 300 total is the budget. Code is Rocket, yeah. I just got my first payout with them. It was $2,800 and something, and it came within 12 hours. It was a pretty quick process. And it only took me 3 days to get funded, or 4 days to get funded, because I spent an extra day on consistency. And then 5 days to payout. I won trade every single day. And then both of the accounts were ready for payout. One of them was $300 away. The other one was like $1,000 away. And then I instead, on day one, when I heard the sale was coming out, decided to take the $300 away and go to payout, and take the $1,000 one away and crash it to 0 so I can replace it. So it was pretty close to getting a payout, but I'd rather have the uncapped DLL than try to grab $2,000 or $3,000 really quick. You're not much of a pattern trader? I don't trade patterns at all. I'm with you. I don't do any patterns at all. What we do, I've been trading this way since about 2019, 2020. We predict high volume pivots. What these things are pivots based on different things. This is gamma exposure of market makers. That's what this blue line is on weekly options. This is the open and close of QQQ. So this is the gapping process, right? Gap up or gap down. Today we gapped up. So whenever QQQ is trading inside of here, we can look at the sum of the stocks together to see if the stocks are filling their gaps or not. If this white line I circled is below 0, then QQQ is going to have a hard time breaking the halfway point. It's kind of like a predictive pivot here. If that white line is less than 0, it's going to resist off of the middle. If it's greater than 0, it'll pop above. So it's kind of like a tiebreaker here. Just to let you know, at this high volume pivot, the stocks are not picking up any momentum inside of this box, and neither will the index likely. And the index has been rejecting the middle all morning long. I'm out of my trade. So it's more like arbitrage trading and volume pivots. And then we use gamma exposure to find another volume pivot. This blue line will hold and close above it 80% of days. So if the market were to sell off and collapse today, everyone in Rocket Scooter right now, I'm sure, is eyeballing that trade right there to take a long off of. It's kind of what we do. It's a little different. Like using GEX levels. So ours is a better version of the GEX levels out there. So our algorithm is a lot stronger. Traditional GEX will look at all the options and create a gamma weighted options OI heat map, which gamma exposure usually looks like this. They'll give you like a grid of prices, 0 to whatever. And then they'll give you like these sort of little nodes. It looks like, I don't know, like a little Christmas tree or something. And you're supposed to deduce from that, oh, there's some exposure, there's some exposure. It's crap. So traditional gamma exposure is absolute crap. What we do that's different is we filter the options as they come through. We read all the options data in real time, and our server computers will read every options trade for every option for every strike period that it exists, and look for that option to be part of what we call a hedging loop, where traders are trading against other traders and trading against market makers, and it circles back around to hedge against whatever that position is. If you find a dealer option against other traders in the market that's actually neutralized, so for example, somebody bought 10,000 calls, right? At the same time, you saw somebody short 100,000 shares, or a million shares. You know that those calls are to hedge those shares. If you can identify calls or puts that are part of the other side of a tandem trade that's in a loop like that, then you can assume that that's an option held by a market maker. And then from there, we give you one level. We don't give you like a tree of rando levels. We give you the level, the master level. The master market maker or zero risk hedged options are gamma long there and gamma short here. Positive and negative hedging. So the hedge pressure, the blue one is weekly options. And then we separate out the orange one is monthly options. We separate that one out. And so the pivots are so strong, as a matter of fact, in our back test. This is how much better this is than like all the other exposure models out there, because you do a heat map, you just get a million little pivots to play with. It's not really that cool. And our team of mathematicians is a little bit more took a deeper dive into that field of study, and now we're pioneering something that everyone else is space racing to figure out how we did it. Right now, everyone's trying to figure out where are the market makers, where are the dealers. We made a huge splash in the scene, but nobody can figure out how we did it. But that's good, right, for us. These are the stats. The blue line will hold and close on the same side under all conditions. This is actually the back test from the crash this year. Under all conditions, almost 70% of the time, 68% of days will not break through it. The orange line, 73% of days will not break through it under all worst conditions. Under fully confluent conditions, which is all these lights are green, this will bounce 80% of the time. So it's one level. And what happens is you're basically just betting on the idea that the structure of the market isn't going to topple over unless you have news. So a nice, clean, boring, non-news related sell day is just going to catch a wave of long pressure at that level or close to it, right? Yeah, MHP is one level, weekly hedge pressure is another level. And everybody in this stream, for the most part, uses Rocket Scooter or some form of it. Yeah, you have to get it through our platform. Fumister is the only way to do it. We couldn't even write it into another platform. We had to actually white label TradingView and then crack it and build our own API into it so that we can actually do our calculations and present them in a platform, period. Nobody's platform could even do the calculation because nobody's platform natively brings in options data from Opera to allow you to manipulate it like that. So unfortunately, we had to build a trading platform just to get the information to people. And that was like 3 years of work, so you guys can get our tools. It's kind of a cool thing. Call your market maker guy to finally stop. I'm going to give him a call. I got him on speed dial. That's who's really calling me with the business loan. It's not really the business loan people. It's the market maker. He's sending me codes, you know. Was it Trump wears a red tie, the market's going up? He wears a blue tie, the market's going down? What do you think about setting my stop loss to 16,501? Wait, 16,501 on the daily chart. Without a take profit and watch the overtime, as I do realize the market goes up more than it goes down. Well, right, that's true, right? Market definitely goes up more than it goes down. As a matter of fact, of all the monthly candles in the last 10 years, 70% of them are green, 30% of them are red. You know that? If you count every daily candle on any bull run or bear run, half of the candles are green, even in bear market. If you line up all of our greater market conditions, which should give you 3 indicators here that tell you if the market's bullish or bearish, if all 3 of those indicators are bullish, 7 out of 10 days are going to be green. So you've nailed it by noticing the market goes up more than it doesn't. And it's always good to err to when you make a bet. Your bet should mostly be, where do I long and where do I buy the dip if it goes against me? Your bet should never be, where do I short this to zero? Unless you're shorting a stock and there's a fundamental reason you want to take a company to zero. That makes sense. But you nailed it by just wanting to hold on to the long side. That is probably one of the smarter trading strategies that most investment banks and firms use. It's like long and hold. Trading futures is a good starting point for new traders. It is the best starting point for new traders. Trading prop firms is the best way for new traders to trade. You risk almost nothing of your personal money other than a small monthly fee to practice trading in a real environment with real rewards and real risk. So futures is easier to trade than options because futures don't have Greeks and don't have decay and other things that come with the options are just betting on 3 things at once instead of 1 thing. Futures are just betting up or down. Options are harder because it's like betting up or down and which way it goes and where does it go to. You have to pick the target and you have to pick the time and you have to pick how it gets there, choppy or straight. And all of those things will affect the outcome of your trade. Options are the hardest thing to day trade. So I would recommend not day trading options until you are a seasoned trader of anything else. Is consistency an issue during eval? It is, but it's only 40%. So consistency with FundedNext is really good. 40% is a 3-day pass. That's not that hard. I made 2 trades today. Both were small losers. I'm down 1,500 bucks. Let's see. Options have decay. Yeah, so like a good seasoned options trader is factoring all that stuff in, and that's what makes an options trader good. It's not picking the direction of the market, but being able to pick the direction and the profit target and the timing. And does it get there while chopping around, or does it get there in a straight shot? An options trader, side by side, has to do the most work and consider the most things and make more predictions than just price. As a futures trader, your prediction is, where do I trade from and which direction does it go up or down? That's your big decision. Options trader is all of that and then those extra things. So they have a harder job. The payout is much better if you're good at it, but you're basically trying to make 3 predictions, or making 1 prediction is hard enough. So to get all 3 of those things right, just think of it, 2 to the n. 1 over 2 to the n is your probability of success, right? If you have 1 choice, A or B, then you have a 50% shot of winning. If you have 3 choices, you have a 12.5% shot of getting all 3 of them right. So the more factors you're choosing A or B between, it's 1 over 2 to the n. You have fewer degrees of freedom to coin flips essentially lower your probability significantly. So with like betting on 3 or 4 different things, options traders aren't really 50-50. Most all of them lose. And the only real way to make money trading options consistently is to be on the sell side, usually. But speculatively, options are just a very difficult thing. And then anything else like stocks, day trading stocks is cool. It's easy, just like futures. Relatively easy compared to options. Trading is hard in general, but the easier thing is stocks and futures. And what makes stocks less cool than futures is that futures give you a better tax break, and futures have less stringent requirements to get started. Stocks require you to have $25,000 in a trading account to day trade. Futures have no requirement. Broker specific, and most of them want you to put in $500 or $1,000. So, futures have a lot of leverage. That's the downside. You can blow up your account very quickly if you don't know what you're doing. But you can also blow up your account very quickly in a stock and options account as well if you also get margin accounts. So any trading account you can blow up quickly. So it's not like futures are inherently riskier. They're just as risky as options, if not slightly less risky, if you believe that all options go to 0 if they don't strike the money, and then therefore the risk is infinite on out of the money option. So you lose everything, or risk is all. You can't get to a payout. You pass an eval and blow them the same day. Well, try something new. Pass an eval, wait a week, wait a day. Give yourself a day to think about it. Wait for conditions to improve. If you come to our boot camp, we're actually covering something in the class today that's going to talk about timing your funded account. So once you go funded, you want your first trade to kind of be your best trade, just to give you a little bit of confidence and give your account some boost. We teach you some strategies on how to do that, by the way. So I can walk you through some of that. Essentially, there are certain times when the market works better than others. There's a certain thing with the VIX we look for. There are certain setups we look for. There's certain conditions we look for. Bull trades, when market conditions line up, is always a good way to trade. But again, when it comes to funded account, just don't jump in and try to take any trade you see. Like, make your first trade in a funded account a really good trade. Like a trade you're ready to okay, I'm going to take this trade because it looks good. That makes sense? You feel like if you only take MHP bounce, it's hard to lose. Right. Stats are pretty good on MHP bounce. The probability that the entire structure of Wall Street doesn't break that hard, and MHP bounce is a 90% chance under ideal conditions as well. But the thing with MHP bounces is that the way that monthly hedging works is that there's a decay pattern as well. MHP is so far away, it's not even actionable. So right now it's 497, which is so far away on QQQ, right? This is we're trading at 522 right now. We're not going to interact with it. As the days go by, because this is the start of the new trading month, where we started a little bit over a week ago. Every single day, if price were to stay flat, monthly hedge pressure will creep closer and closer and closer. And the last week of a bull market, it's usually in the vicinity to pivot off of. In a transitional or bear market, you will interact with MHP almost every single day. So what you'll notice about most bull markets is that the market is safely bullish, really far away, and we're totally totally fine on that. So, used to always love shorting, but after watching the stream, you think you're a perma bull. Well, shorting will be obvious. That's what I tell people. Like, being bullish most of the time is usually the statistical choice, but a bear market will be so obvious you can't miss it. You will know if the market's bearish. Like an example is, if you break through, hedge pressure, you know it's probably going to fall to here. Okay, that's where I can take a short. If I leave a bull zone and fall to bear zone and then lose that again, then I know, okay, it's probably bad. Like, you're going to be pretty obvious to see when a bear market's going to be there. And a bull market, it's really hard to see when it ends. And that's kind of the hardest part about trading, is guessing the timing of the end of a bull run. It's almost impossible to guess when the bull run ends, but it's very easy to see where the bear run starts. What that means is the market goes up and up and up. So tell me when that up move stops happening. You'll never be able to do it. But once the market falls past a certain point of no return, you immediately say, aha, that's where it's bearish, right here. And so usually with bull market, you just predict that it's bullish most days and you stay the course. And then the day that it goes bearish, you just confirm and react to a bear market. Don't try to predict a bear market, just react to one. And if that's like the strategy that you employ, I promise you, you will have a much kind of cleaner approach to your view of the market. Don't try to predict the bear market, just always react to one and let the market like prove you wrong first. That's how the link where I'm going live, I think it's here. Hold on. Right here. Yeah. So like right now, the market is tied. I have an indicator that tells me the market is going to, that the stocks aren't picking up a lot of momentum. Okay. But does that mean I'm a bear? Absolutely not. All my attempts are still kind of try to long this. I still can maybe try to long this. There's no reason not to. I can bet that the market doesn't turn bearish because it doesn't usually just turn bearish. Everything else looks good around it. I don't have the full confluence though, so then I'll just long smaller if I do take a long, as an example. Right? So instead of saying, oh, the stocks are kind of like bad, let me go ahead and short this. I'm not trying to short this and the market's not selling off. The market's always trying to find an excuse to be bullish. And as much as it can, I don't like to try to fight it. And if it does fall and I'm just on the sidelines, then I miss out on the fall, which is totally fine. A lot of people in this room are shorting out the door. I wasn't, but a lot of people were. So a lot of other people are waiting for good bull setups to take place. How much is capital gains taxes in United States? Long-term capital gains is 15%, and then your short-term capital gains is added to your bottom line of your income. So it's taxed at your current wage tax, whatever bracket you're in. It adds on top of that. So it's margined or marginable, just like all the other income you have. So the more you make, it goes into different brackets. So trading income just adds right on top of your regular income for short term. Unless you move to Puerto Rico. Yeah, unless you move to Puerto Rico, and that's different. All right, you guys. Y'all take a look at this little ad really quick. I'm going to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Time is your friend, not your enemy. Market approaching half gap 1 second time here with resilience less than 0. Obviously, half gap is resistance a little bit higher from here. We're talking about 16 points higher from here. So roughly about 87, give or take. Yeah, right in the middle here. A little bit up higher. Market making one final attempt at this. I wonder if you could get like one up here and then market just flushes. Stocks are improving though. Anytime I see improvements in resilience, I tell myself, okay, somebody's buying. All right, so this is my first day on my funded. Just to time the transition, I'm probably going to end the stream. Instead of transition over there perfectly, I might end the stream like a couple minutes before I go over there. But I'll drop the link in here. So I want everybody to go in the link that I drop. And then just chill there when I tell you to. Not yet, but when I tell you to. And we'll kind of all transition over to that. Oh, let me get the. Make sure I get the link ready. All right, so I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to get this ready for my prompt here. Okay. Okay, that's good. I got that here. You here. We set everything up. Bum, 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 bum. Almost my time. Yep. In like 10 minutes. So it looks like I'm gonna have a segment, but it's gonna be like Luke will be there, kind of like guiding the conversation. And we'll just have a conversation between each other, which will be cool. Oh, so what I have to do is, okay. I need to have. Check, 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 check. Okay. Cam is working, mic is working good. Okay. Tom Sabo is on now. I don't know who that is. That's the new guy, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with him. Or his trading style. Do I follow him? I don't follow him. I don't. There is MFF TV, Top Step TV, and Tradeify TV. Which one's the best? Well, clearly, MFF TV is the one I'm going to be on. So clearly, that's the best one. They're all pretty good, though. I'm not going to lie. Tradeify, I mean, okay, listen. The traders that they pick... Sorry, Tradeify is great. Top Step, the traders they pick is like a... They're not like going to be superstar traders. They're all average. Not bad, but they're not like going to be like, you know, wowing you guys on a daily basis. The house account definitely loses money consistently. But, I mean, it's an entertainment show. Tradeify's is a really good show as well. But, you know, obviously my funded since I'm going to be on it. Duh. Best one, Rocketeer TV, of course. Do I think the session high gets tapped? I do. I think that today probably ultimately stabilizes and continues to move higher. Resilience is making an improvement, which almost makes me want to long this. Kind of like it's not bullish yet, but it's still kind of sitting at open, and Resilience is getting improvement. So there is like a, you know, there is a push for people buying. I do like to see that. This run and this run does look good for some support. You think I should take one more stab at this, right? I can do one more. Like, why the hell not? Maybe I can get something out of it. I like to see Resilience making an improvement. That's a sign that there's buying here. So I'm going to take a long here. One contract to fill the gap at least to start. But again, I'm trying to get ahead of Resilience as the index and Resilience are both improving. It's still negative. It's very, it's not a high probability that we break through and fill the gap, but it's the fact that it's improving is not a bad sign. Do I hold trades to FOMC and FP? No. I'm always flat into a major news event. Always. And you should be too. 100%. As a gamble deluxe. We have news at Chew. The minutes, Fed minutes, yeah. Benny's been holding since he was a wee lad. Let's go, baby. I'm with you. I'm in. Getting pretty solid here. Yeah, it's getting better. Looking slightly better. Okay, so if it passes through half gap and if it goes to the open to close out, this gap fill and Resilience is still not greater than 0, I'll just close down the gap fill if I get it. So I'm going to take it with you. Vinny's been holding since he's a wee lad. Since he's a wee lad. What's my profit today? Kind of hit or miss. I'm up or down in some of the accounts, but basically I'm longing in all the accounts right now. So I'll let you know how the trade plays out. I was only down like 1,500 in the one you saw on the stream. So this one I'm working back up to green. Trump talking? What's my dude saying right now? He's talking time to take a break. Okay, guys, y'all start heading over to my funded futures. Like, right now, I'm gonna end the stream in about like 2 minutes. So I want you guys to all go over there while I jump into here. Everybody, go to this link. Go to this link. I'm typing in a chat. Go there. Go there. Go there. I'm going to transition. I'm going to practice the transition now, but I'm giving myself 10 minutes in case I fuck it up. But I will see you guys in 10 minutes over at My Funded Futures. Everybody go now. Go there now. No, I'll be live in like 10 minutes. So we'll see y'all there. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been fun as always. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Matt. Sub to the channel. We're live every single day, and we'll see y'all in just a little bit. My Funded Futures TV.
Market spinning in chaotic haze. Rocket scooter blast through the maze. Volume prediction shows the way. Leave the doubt and the fray. Liquidity map paints the scene. Hidden nodes like ghosts unseen. Reverse engineer to see the light. Illuminate the darkest night. Rocket scooter has got the key. Pull back curtains, let me see where institutions hide. Doubt can't live where you reside. Trends we ride with heads held high. Resilience makes the weak ones fly. Future volume crystal clear. Rocket scooter leads, no fear. No more guesswork, no more loss. Seeing past the others cross. Institutions will be seen. Predict the flow like a machine. Rocket scooter, you've got the key. Pull back curtains, let me see where institutions hide. Doubt can't live where you reside. Trends we ride with heads